Good afternoon and welcome to our live stream Pandora's Wake Apocalypse Age. This is our usually weekly modern age game with a post-apocalyptic setting. I'll be your games master. I'm Bryan F. Irving from Gethsemane Games and from DH9 Radio. The system we'll be playing is Modern Age by Green Ronin Publishing. The setting is Pandora's Wake by myself. Sound effects are by DH9 Radio's Foley unit, Battle Bards and freesound.org. Music by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com and by the DH9 Radio production unit. I think I overran there by about 2 seconds and getting all that in, but never mind. So thank you for joining us for today's session. I'll just introduce you to our players. So first of all, we have Mark Savall as Dr. Alan Lockhart.
Hello.
We have Ben Watson as Greg Bishop, but Ben's not currently in the call. He's going to be joining us very, very shortly, but he just can't get here right now. So we'll meet Ben in a moment, I'm afraid. We have Sean McGuile as Jeremy Halford.
Evening.
We have Jenny Savall as Erin Black.
Hello.
We have Chris Gibson as Anthony Burr.
Hello.
And we have Marie McGowan Irving as Dr. Gail Anderson. Sorry, Aston.
Hello.
Dr. Gail Aston. Now, Marie might be popping in and out as well. She's had to take a shift as an admin on her, I would say, day job, but it usually happens sort of mid-evening. Doesn't usually do Fridays, but something's come up, so she's having to split her attentions in a way she hadn't really wanted to have to do, so just in case you're wondering. Okay, so the apocalypse has begun. The Pandora Event, which caused a rift between our world and the next, the walls between the two beginning to tear and rip open, allowing the other verse to spill through into our world, is now about a month in the past. Society is clinging on by a thread. Governments are still attempting to act as if everything is as normal as possible. Currently, a helicopter rescue team are on an oil rig in the North Sea trying to evacuate a casualty who has just had surgery and needs to be urgently airlifted to the surface. They were there when the storm hit. Well, not when the storm hit, they arrived slightly after the storm hit. They're there during the storm, which is currently buffeting the oil rig and is blowing through from a rift to the other verse, which is some ways to the northeast of them. With that storm, unfortunately, two groups of alien monstrosities have also attacked the oil rig. The combat's great flying, human-sized, bat-like monsters that are picking off people and men of war alike are streaking through the skies, seemingly not buffeted as heavily by the storm as you might expect. Meanwhile, slithering up from the depths, we have the jellyfish-like men of war who are also attacking the station at the same time. Currently, the players are in the pump room, having just restored electrical power to the oil rig in an attempt to start to formulate an escape plan. So, folks, what would you like to do next? Would you like me to take you over to the room you're in for a start?
Yes.
That would help.
It might, mightn't it? So you would be in the... So many rooms. Medical bay, accommodation, rec room, mess, walkway. Yeah, got it, right. So, there you go. I'll join you there.
Right.
You're gathered with numerous other survivors as well. Currently, you're under siege. The southern door has been pounded upon by several men of war. Beyond the north door are at least two combats, one of which has been injured. But the team that you dispatched to get the power back on, have only just made it back. Anthony's quite injured by his experiences as well. What would you all like to do?
Somebody needs to do first aid on him.
I was going to say I'll start
Yep,
taking
our
my
legs
hands
are being healed.
Okay, give me a intelligence first aid check, please. Target number's 11.
Can I use intelligence medicine?
You can, yes.
Hi.
Hello. And it would seem
Hello.
that Ben has arrived just in time.
Die.
Okay, so that's a pass from Dr. Lockhart. You're attending to Anthony's wounds. They're quite severe on the surface, but when you get a close look, you think you're going to be able to treat them. So you clean them down as quickly as you can, get them somewhere stationary, and start stitching the wounds. You have restored to him. So your intelligence is 2, your stunt dice was 4, so 6. That's 7 health points Anthony can have back.
It's 19.
Yeah. So you're still injured. Your wounds were quite serious, but the doctor's done the best he can do for you, patching you up here without a medical facility. You could try making it all the way back to where you started in the medical bay, of course, to have a...
No. Something I was going to ask is, obviously I know how many people the helicopter can carry.
Yes, 19.
And how many do we have here?
More than 19.
Jesus Christ.
The other problem
I've
you
just
have
loaded
is...
up.
Yeah. The other problem you have, if you can only carry 19 people if everybody's sitting. But each gurney, and you do have a casualty on a gurney, each gurney counts for 3 people. Now,
Okay.
that's 19 in the main body of the helicopter, but the flight crew of 2 doesn't count towards that capacity.
Okay.
So you've got the 2-person flight crew and then 19 other bodies. Except where there is a gurney, which counts as 3 bodies and not 1.
Right, so 16 of these people, aside from
Gurney.
Aside from the
2.
flight crew, yeah.
The pilots, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we were going to suggest that the people left here who we can't fit on the helicopter bunker down, weren't we? But I don't know how well this is going to go across.
I was going to say, that's not likely to go down terribly well. Yeah.
I'll actually assist you. I'll volunteer to bunker down with anyone who's not able to make it.
The weather's
You are
still
staying.
horrendous, isn't it, Brian?
It is, yes.
See, otherwise I'd have said, because quite often helicopters that are lifting out casualties doing airlifts are equipped with stretchers you can hang underneath. But if the weather's horrendous and this guy's in a bad state, we wouldn't want to use that.
Those are lighter Kazivac helicopters. This is the Sea King. They don't have...
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I think with the wind anyway, it'll be.
Yeah.
And there's combats flying.
And there are combats flying, yeah.
Yeah.
The downdraft from a Sea King makes it a bit difficult to strap anybody onto the skids, and also they don't have skids. They have lowerable landing gear, much like a fixed-wing aircraft.
And they have big flotation pods on the wings.
Yeah.
And the underside's shaped like a boat.
Yeah. So unfortunately, you can count everybody up yourself to check, but I think you're about 6 people over capacity.
Yeah, something like that. I mean, no one's going to come out here, are they? If we radio out, or if we are able to. So that isn't going to help.
It's unlikely that anybody else is going to fly into that storm that you did.
No.
I mean, you could always go back for them.
True, I mean, you can try multiple flights.
I mean, that's probably what I would be suggesting. Like, I'll take, whoever we've got in here, I don't know, probably the most injured people first. And then suggest that that we come back for them, but I don't know. I mean, how long would it take?
To fly back to the mainland through this storm, land, disgorge all the personnel, refuel, come back. Yeah, it's going to take a while. It's going to take a couple of hours probably.
Tool
Okay.
up. Gonna tool
Yeah.
up.
Yeah. I mean, you could try and convince the Royal Air Force to fly into that storm. They've got the kind of pilots who are crazy enough to do it, but
Do we have a means of communication outside of the oil rig?
I mean, yes, that's how you were called in the first place, but under the current circumstances, the radio communications are poor to the mainland during this storm, because the storm's been getting worse since you got halfway here.
Mm-hmm.
So you
And it's
could try to get through, but there's no guarantee you will at the moment with the disruption of the communications.
the other thing I'm worried about is the patient. Like how long he's got left if he doesn't get proper medical care.
Yeah, he's going to need to get proper medical care fairly quickly.
If we're going to do it in several trips, I can help prioritise which ones need
Yes.
to get to a medical attention sooner than other ones.
Yeah. I mean, most of the men here are only very slightly injured. If injured at all, obviously your casualties are a different matter. And Anthony is sufficiently injured that you'd like to get him out of here. Just remind me, is Anthony Burr the winchman or the co-pilot? Winch. Yeah. So technically you don't need him, and he does count towards one of those 19 people, but he's also injured and you should probably get him out. So you don't think he'd survive another attack like the one he suffered earlier?
Right.
There's also one other problem, but I'll leave you guys for that suddenly dawn on you.
Get into the helicopter, making sure the helicopter's fueled.
Those are the ones.
Getting away on the helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, as long as your pilot knows what she's doing, he'll be all right.
Yeah, I know exactly, because we've got to actually get there first. I mean, how far are we at this point from the helicopter?
Let me just check.
Far too far.
Yeah.
900 miles.
Well, you're not quite that far, but it's further than you'd like. Let me just go back to the main map here. And I know you guys haven't changed because I just need to know the distance. Is
there any sheets of metal that we could use? Use as a temporary barrier. Not only from the weather, but from the combats.
You mean like form a shield wall?
You could
and go Spartan on them.
You could probably tear some up. I mean, most of the walkways are metal. Obviously, anybody else coming along who didn't notice, it'd fall straight through them. But given most of the external walkways are painted yellow, they'd probably notice if they weren't there. 88 metres away, by the way, and not in a straight line.
Right.
So far, you've done.
Fine, we could do that.
Well, the furthest end, if you've gone in one go, relatively safely, was 20 metres.
Yeah, and I was going to say that there are obviously stairs between here and there, and the wind's blowing, etc.
Yeah,
it's going to take you fighting against the breeze, etc. More than 20 seconds to cover that distance.
Oh yes, definitely.
Running,
but we're also not going to last.
You're not going to run that fast. I would have thought.
No.
Yeah, but you see, Bob doesn't know that he actually got sedated, so we'll go for him.
Yeah. Running in under the circumstances of the gale outside, it's going to halve your movement easily.
We'll maybe need to try and figure out some kind of way of distracting the creatures. Or maybe we could... we don't have anything that could create like a smoke barrier to help conceal us as we're trying to leave?
In a gale as bad as that one, you imagine,
Yeah,
because it's
probably
been
not.
building and
You
building. It's just going to blow
Probably not now.
any smoke away.
we could possibly dip in and out of buildings. You know, like
Yes.
run 20 meters and then dip into a building, stay there for a couple minutes.
Mhm.
That's
And
a lot
then,
of people
do
to get into a
that.
building each time.
Well, it'll get us a little closer.
Yeah.
What about two? Oh, I know you shouldn't split, but what if we split?
Has nobody got a flamethrower?
This came
That'd
up.
be nice,
This
wouldn't it?
this came up the
No,
other
but
week
I
as
do
well.
have this nuclear launch code.
This came up the other week. Flamethrowers not generally something that's kept on oil rigs for.
I don't think a flamethrower in a gale would be a good idea anyway. You might flame yourself.
Yes.
Probably, yeah.
Or the pilot light might just not stay on.
There'll be flares.
There are flares.
Insert joke about fashion choices.
One
You
thing
know,
I meant.
I actually recently found out that Coast Guards, specifically Jenny's like branch of the Coast Guards, they actually carry M16s as a part of standard issue.
Did you really?
Wow.
You found that
So,
out, did you? Aye.
I did, so I
Really?
feel like the entire crew should have M16 assault rifles.
I see.
I think because
Nice.
it's in our rig, she would have left it on the helicopter.
We've reached the point of the game where Ben tries to argue with the games master for having a gun.
Yes, we have.
Yes. I was thinking Fusion Gunman Portable 15. at
Yes.
this point.
The only British Second Amendment supporter I've encountered. But why
Is it,
doesn't it cover
crane?
us?
What about a storage crate and a crane?
Sorry, you broke up a little bit there. Storage, what now?
If we get us all in a storage crate and use a crane to get us to the helicopter.
Okay.
That sounds insane.
I was about to say that. That's just insanity.
I have a mouthful of crunchy, otherwise that'll be the first to say, are you mental?
Bear in mind, and in RPGs, sometimes it's the mental plans that work.
So let me get this right. So we get in a container, right? A cargo container. Everybody in it.
Plenty of them
Somebody
around. Yep.
climbs up into the crane control tower, bit like cab.
Yep.
Whilst they lower the thing, which is going to swing in the breeze, this heavy metal hook. Somebody's going to catch a hold of it and hook up the container that we're all in, and then you can swing us out over the sea and round to the helicopter landing pad. And then you're going to.
I feel like that's a solid plan.
You're going to bring the cargo container somewhere close to the helicopter, flapping in the. Yeah.
What's
okay,
the
that's
worst that
gonna
could
work.
happen?
So,
You really
this is
don't
a
want
plan.
to know what Rob
This
thinks
is
of
a
that idea.
plan so absolutely and completely bonkers that Ben likes it.
No. It's that insane. It works.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
But
what
it's
Here's
a
how-
million to one chance.
Here's what I think. Whoever tries to go up to that crane is going to get eaten by the flying bats. Whoever tries to hook up the container is going to get eaten by the flying bats. If we do actually manage to hook the damn thing up to the container, whoever's going to be in the cab is probably going to be rolling on whatever the skill is based on and not actually any kind of speciality. We'll knock the helicopter into the sea,
Yeah.
and then we'll all be in a container stuck
And
under
food.
siege by alien beasties. All they'll need is a can opener.
Yeah.
God
No.
almighty.
But the thing is, as the person dies in the crane cab, they hit the winch release while we're
Yeah.
over the North Sea.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're coming to the bottom of the sea.
And then you float all the way home to England.
You all got
the
swimming.
containers won't float
Ben,
and sink.
Ben, I feel
Kind
your
of like what happened
understanding
on Madagascar. It's what happened on Madagascar. Cartoons never lie.
Ben, I feel your understanding of the laws of physics is somewhat lacking. And that's coming from me. I'm a biologist.
It's all right. The only people who know less about the laws of physics and biologists is physicists. And anybody who would like to
And
complain.
as I have a Scottish accent, this has not been said yet, so it needs to be said. You cannot change the
The
laws of physics.
Anybody that would like to complain about what I just said there, you can do. The email address is dh9radio@mail.com. But do bear in mind that my stepfather was a professor of physics. So it is said with love. And a deep understanding of how frustrating physics can be sometimes. Okay, so your current plan is insane.
Actually, it's a better plan. Like, I could try and
Jumping
lure
off
things
a
away
bridge in
again.
Paris would be
Anything is a better plan.
the plan.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, I could try and
I
lure
think
things
the-
away again,
yeah.
but I don't think that. I think that you're going to get attacked anyway, and it's just going to be like last time. I'm
Yeah,
going to
but
be
look
running
at the meat
around
shield
getting
we've got in
attacked.
here.
Yeah.
I think the partial cover thing, the first plan I had, the partial covers.
Right.
with the-
The
Partial
problem,
cover plan's not a bad idea at all.
yeah. The problem we have is the helicopter ready to launch?
No.
No. Right. So it's not being refueled.
Nope.
Is the weather suitable enough for a launch?
Nope.
No,
Right.
it's not. But Brian has made it quite clear that
Oh,
it's
fuck.
never going to be.
I've not said
suitable
it's
for the
never going to
helicopter.
be. I mean, from the
Yeah, but-
perspective
Second,
from the perspective of your casualty, it's never going to be, because by the time this
Well,
storm
yeah.
clears, he'll be dead.
Yeah, exactly. So
Right. Well, in that case,
I think we should just book it. I think we should just try and
needs of the
sneak
many
there.
outweigh the needs of the few.
Mm.
I think that we should just try and sneak there, but instead of all going at once, we should split up into smaller teams. So then we're
God.
Get picked off
less
one at a time.
noticeable.
Can I say something here?
Mhm.
The storm's so bad, I'm going to guess the comms are out, yeah?
Pretty much, yeah. Short range,
Right.
you're getting through sometimes.
Right, so short range works. So if we flew off, because I'm just going to assume that somehow we make it to the helicopter. If we fly off with a casualty,
Mhm.
we'll either be able to pass out of the storm, or at least get to a point where short range will reach the shore, yeah?
Mhm. Mhm.
So couldn't we pitch it to people? We'll draw straws for who waits behind or whatever.
I've already said
That-
I'll wait behind.
That what we'll do is the helicopter will fly out of the storm and then try and connect with comms to get a second helicopter a bit quicker than her flying back and then flying out again.
It would be convincing anybody to come out through this storm.
Yeah, but
I've already said I'll wait back and try and bunker down with the remaining oil workers.
it's trying to, make it sound a bit better for the people who are going to be remaining. If they
I'll just
think
tell them.
that,
I'll just tell them stories of my previous battles. Where I've murdered man o' wars by the dozen with my bare fists.
does this oil rig have one of those panic rooms that can be detached in earthquakes that can give you 36 hours of air?
I didn't quite catch all of that. Did they have? Oh, the submersibles. No, but there is a section of the oil rig underwater that might be a lot safer. It just doesn't have room for very many people. There are the lifeboats, which are designed for bad weather, but this is extremely bad weather. It would still be harrowing, to say the least, and possibly dangerous. They are intended as a last resort in this kind of storm. However,
yeah,
I mean, if you feel that you're at last resort territory, that's understandable.
I was
Well,
thinking about the lifeboats before, but would they be safe from being attacked from
No.
above? And
we
below?
already talked about this last
Yeah.
time. That
Well,
they would be open
no.
to getting attacked.
No, they're not.
They're
Well,
not-
open to being attacked.
Oh, open
yeah.
to being attacked, yes, but they're not.
Yeah,
they're not
that's what
open
I mean.
topped. Yeah.
No, but there's creatures coming from sea and
Yes.
air. They're not really going to stand much chance, in my opinion.
Yeah.
As well as being in the storm on top of that. So
I'm not
I-
having a decision of the death of many people, so whatever Jenny wants.
Yeah,
Thanks.
so we can't stuff some hobbits in barrels and float them out.
The safer option would be for people to go deeper into the rig, and then they'd be that'd be safer. And
flying
them
things,
underwater.
flying things won't
waiting
be,
out there, yeah. But it's convincing them, though, isn't it?
Well,
Well,
yes. I
it's-
mean,
it's-
How many?
go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at this point where we need to have that decision made then as to who's doing what.
Mhm.
I don't see how we can move forward because all we're doing is talking around in circles now about
So-
what to do.
Mhm.
Time
If
for
I
action.
was to ask my fellow oil workers who volunteers to stay back because there may not be enough room, and I'll say I'm going to stay back and I'm going to hunker down and protect anyone who stays with me. The pilot here, Erin, she's going to go drop off the casualties, the ones who are most wounded, and she's going to either get in contact with someone to come back, or she's going to come back herself.
Yeah.
Does anyone volunteer to stay with me?
Okay, can I just clarify something? Are you actually saying that, or were you asking?
Well, is everyone okay with me just saying that?
Yeah, I was going to say
you
you phrased it as if it was a question, so I just wanted clarification. So you're
was going to be, but
suggesting that to the other players, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
At this
like
point.
to ask Greg a question.
Go on then.
As Greg, what is your position on him? You be able to get enough people to come with you? I mean, are you just like a pump worker, or are you like a line manager?
I would say I'm a competent worker.
A pump
Yeah,
worker
you'll be in the management
Oh.
team because you were told to look after the visitors when they arrived, weren't you? So you'll clearly be middle management, we'll say.
So you might be able to get them to coerce them to
Well,
do
I'm
what
going to
you-
more appeal to the well, it's not a death sentence staying here. They're coming back, but we're just getting rid of the most vulnerable now.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. If you want to try it, just say the word.
Is
and
everyone okay with me? Is everyone okay with me saying all that? Because this could potentially start panic, which is why I'm asking.
Well,
Yeah.
we've got to say at some point. So
Then I'll say it. I'll say exactly what I said. I'll say that.
Right, you are. Okay, so
As best he can.
you make this impassioned speech about how there's not enough room to get everybody on a helicopter at one point, and obviously ripples of alarm start running round the oil workers. You say that you think you can probably survive till the helicopter gets back, if you all hunker down, and you'll stay behind with people to make sure that they do. That this starts like small pockets of argumentation where some people are like, if they get out of here, there's no way they're coming back. And somebody else is like, if they get out of here, there's no way they'll be able to make it back. And somebody else is like, in that storm, I don't think they'll ever even make it out of here. We might as well just stay put. That's encouraging because if and there is like murmurs of agreement. So that means some people are already thinking like they're not going to risk trying to escape. Somebody else says like, yeah, but whatever we do, the first problem is getting past those things outside. And if to emphasize it, you can hear bang, bang, bang on the metal as the men of war are trying to get in. Give me, first of all, give me a perception hearing test, everybody, please. And then I'm going to ask for a communication test from Ben's character for that passion speech.
Perception.
Okay, so 15 or better as you pass here. So
Well, I failed.
Sean's passed. Okay. So
Hold on, perception. No, I've only got perception and empathy, so.
those of you who pass, notice that the sound of the banging and clanking is only coming from the south now, not the north. So it's only the men of war and not the fear bat that's trying to batter the door in. But having said that, you can also hear the sound of men of war hammering against the shuttered windows to the south as well. So they're looking for a weak point. Meanwhile, for Ben, can you give me a roll on your communication persuasion, please? Did you catch that, Ben?
Yeah. Today,
You're breaking up quite badly
and
there,
then just
but
start
it's,
getting the men in,
there you
or the
go.
women and children.
So
Hey, not bad.
you've passed,
Okay.
and you've
Fair
passed
enough.
with
I've
3
got
points of
children.
stunts. So
I'm home.
go on. Sorry.
He was being delayed then. There's a slight delay in the Wi-Fi at the moment, so
Right. Yeah. We are getting
I
it.
can't hear it.
I'm on mobile data at the moment, so
Yeah.
might not get a delay.
Ben, we are struggling to hear you. Getting chopped up pretty badly. So for a while, you might want to type your responses. Ben, you are.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes, that's much
Yeah.
better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
I feel like there was
go on.
probably quite a large delay. Sorry.
It's all right. No, I will get to the end of the sentence if it kills you all. So, fuck off. So, Greg has managed to convince people that this is a good plan. Some people are refusing to leave anyway. They're like, I'm not going out there. As soon as we open the doors, those things will tear us apart. Others are saying, like, we can get past those things, but I don't think the helicopter can launch in this in these winds. So by the time you take those two groups out, let me just have a little check. I'm going to roll some real dice here because I bought these early on in lockdown and I haven't had a chance to use them much. Okay, so
Anyway, so like, do it. Sorry, go on.
didn't catch it. Did anybody make out what he said there?
No.
I was talking over you, so I should have.
That's okay. It's okay. I couldn't make out what you said. It was very.
I was saying, is it possible because of everything's going on that it would be classed as a short rest to try and get some more health back?
No.
Okay.
In most cases, no, because you're all like secure and stuff.
We are playing pulp, so it's understandable.
Yeah. I am. Yeah, I don't really think you can call it a rest because it's quite a stressful, agitated situation. Okay, so you've got 4 people have agreed that they're not leaving anyway. So let's
That's fine.
make that. I'll just put them over. Bert and Ernie will come with you. I feel it would be daft not to now. There's a third. There's a fourth. And I'm going
There's
to move
Greg.
the people who are looking to get out of here in the first thing down a bit.
You've got 2 Bert and Ernie's on there.
Yeah.
I can't see a second Bert and Ernie. Where's the second one?
Yeah, there are.
There's one either side of me, and there are then 2 between the machines.
Bert? Oh, yes, there are. Right, okay.
Probably because you moved them in from the, like when you're doing, they went
Yep.
to the power room.
Okay, so you've got the casualty there. That's going to be 3 people. You've got 3, 4, 5, 6. You were going to stay, weren't you, Ben? So I'll just move you up there. So that's Jeremy's would be in the cockpit, so he doesn't count. So Bert, Ernie, and the casualty. That's 5 spaces taken up. Winchman is 6.
2 doctors.
The 2
7 and
doctors,
8.
7 and 8. Then it's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You need 1 more person to volunteer to stay behind. Ben, what
Does
do you...
Erin count because she's the pilot?
I didn't count Erin because she'll be in the cockpit. You've got 20 people plus the flight crew. So, Ben, what were you going to do with those 3 stunt points you got on that communication test?
I'll what are the social? Is it social? Is that the one I'm looking at?
Sorry, yes, social stunts you're looking for.
Cards on the table. You want to play poker while all the monsters come up?
I know.
Is there not a sway the crowd?
I can use impress. Gain +1 per speed spent on your next social test against the same target. And I'll just I'll use that. So I'm going to put all 3 points into impress.
Okay.
So I'm going to get +3 onto, and I'm going to pick a guy at random.
Right.
You. And I'm going to, it is. So looking over the crowd of terrified all workers, are any of them who look particularly sturdy?
There's a couple look sturdy and there's a couple look as if they're on the cusp of like, do I stay or do I go? And other Clash lyrics.
These are probably ones that have help.
I'll pick the one who looks like he wants to stay the most, and I'll go, Eric, buddy, come on, stay with us. We'll hunker down. I know you're a proper tough lad. You're from Wales, you know. You're all hardy lads. We'll stay here. We'll crack some skulls. Erin will be back, and you'll be back home to your wife in no time.
Okay, good. Give that second communication persuasion roll, and then you can add those 3 points
Shit.
of bold.
Oh shit.
Well, that's an 11. It's an 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you need
Well,
a
welcome to
13.
complain about who. Yeah.
You needed a 13, so the only way for this to work then is if he also has a courage test which passes by 3 points or more. So let's just see. So I'm going to give him 3d.
Or if maybe someone could assist me or something.
3d6 plus 2. Roll.
We don't know them.
And he's failed. So he's like, nah, he's not convinced. You're bigging him up like, oh, why is it always the Welshman that has to stay? He says in an oddly not terribly Welsh accent.
And that's when we start singing Men of Harlech.
Apparently, I'm a much worse impersonator of a Welsh accent than I thought I was. Apologies to everybody from Wales now. In the past and in the far future, I apologise for that shit Welsh accent that I attempted there. I'll not do it again. Right.
So we'll start singing Men of Harlech to inspire him.
You could try, but with
That's
your
all
luck,
right, Brian. I have listened to so many bad Scottish accents now, and people who think dwarves are always Scottish can get in the extinct volcano underneath Edinburgh Castle.
Okay, so unfortunately
You're telling me they're not all Scottish?
you've failed to convince Eric. What would you like to do now, guys? You've got 20 people. You've got 19 spaces.
Well, who looks the most likely to get knocked out if someone punches them?
Who's
Probably
allergic
Frederick.
to a spanner off the back of the head?
That would be this guy down here.
Try Frederick, the French guy. Let's go through all these accents.
I don't think I can do. I don't think I can do French either, if I'm entirely honest.
Go on, Ben. Let's try. Go on. The communication, I mean, not the accent.
So Friedrich here is he's our next victim, is he? He's the next one you're going to try and convince to stay behind. Okay, who would like to try and convince Frederick?
Depends on what you mean by convince. If walking up behind him and smacking him over the back of the head with a banner, then yeah.
I mean, you can try it.
I don't think it goes
I'm
very well with everyone.
gonna be against you assaulting my men.
I would.
Can we not play the
But
shame
we'll
game
do it
here?
gently.
Can we not say one of you has to stay behind, otherwise this guy's going to die, and
Yeah.
there's no guarantee he's going to live anyway.
Okay,
I'm waiting for someone
Give it
to
a
play
try.
the well.
Oh, intimidation. Oh, nice.
right. That's three of you talking at once. Sean hasn't actually finished his sentence. Sean, go ahead.
I was going to say, so we can't play the shame game on these people and say,
Yeah,
you
you
know,
can.
like, do the right thing here. Somebody should volunteer to stay behind.
Yeah, who's going to
And you
deliver
lot,
that?
Because your buddy here, your friend, isn't going to make it otherwise.
Yeah. Okay.
Appeal to them emotionally.
Do you want to try that yourself, or are you going to get somebody else to try and deliver that?
Let's see, what's my communication skill? I've only got a 2. I don't have any other things on there, so I don't know.
Who has?
Anybody have any
Communication
persuasion
skills.
ability?
Yeah. I don't.
I don't.
No, I've got no powers or anything like that.
I think that too will be all right.
I don't.
Well, I'll give it a go.
Okay, go for it.
Roll
13
50.
is your target. Nope.
It's going to be one of those nights, isn't it?
Yeah. Somebody else says, doesn't look like he's going to make it anyway. Why don't we leave him behind and then everybody else can get on?
Oh, really? That's lovely. Does this
I was
guy
waiting for
not
someone to
have
say
any
that.
friends here?
Are we all trying just to build it up, are we?
Yeah, I
no
mean, you
love,
can
have-
try and
have,
make a conversation as well. If you can come up with just a slight twist on what was already said, you can try that.
No greater love for your fellow man. Give up your own life.
Yeah, that would work. That
It's a
would
far
work.
greater thing than I do now.
So,
Yada yada.
yeah, what I need is for somebody who's going to make the roll to decide which slightly different tack they're going to take. Tell me what you say, or roughly what you say, and then I'll tell you what your target number is going to be. No volunteers, right? Okay. You're asking these guys to
I'd say-
volunteer to stay behind, and you're not even going to volunteer to try and talk
Okay,
them
right,
into it.
Yeah.
That's possibly not going to help.
Right, I'll give it another go, and I'll say, well, in that case, nobody goes.
Right.
Is anyone here ex-military?
No, I don't think so. Sean, give me a communications intimidation. Sorry, it'll be strength intimidation then.
Strength intimidation. Crap. That's not gonna do it.
Okay, you've got close enough there that if one of them passes there you go. One of them eventually steps forward and says, I'll stay. He kind of looks at the guy who'd said, like, let's just leave the injured guy. He kind of glares at him and goes, I'll stay.
Dylan.
One of us has to step up and show we've got a spine.
Dylan, we'll be calling.
Oh, we're
It's
going to call him
Dylan who's
Dylan, are we?
staying.
Right, okay.
Yes.
How would you like me to spell Dylan?
The
How
Y.
is it normally spelled?
I don't know. It's normally
I
spelled.
don't know
Why
how
do you
to
think I
spell
fucking
Dylan,
asked?
so-
Dylan.
It's usually like DYLAN, isn't it?
There we go. Right, there we go. Dylan's going to go over there with the guys who are going to stay behind.
It's DILLAN.
He's going to be the first to die. Yeah.
That's how I'm spelling it. Okay,
Yeah,
guys,
double L-A-N.
yes.
Because his parents not spelled. Dylan spelled D-Y-L-A-N.
All right, it's DYLAN. We've got that bit. Could we move on?
He's not going to come back. He's not a reincarnation of a ghost that I know, is he?
No, it's not
Another
that, Dylan. Okay.
Oh man.
Okay,
Right.
so you've now got it down. I mean, double check just in case. Let's just move everybody into one
Stand
large
them in
group.
an array.
1, 2,
Yeah, like
yeah.
rows. Maybe make it 5. Put the patient, the 2 doctors, and the others.
It's a shame you haven't got a guy who started rather than have the missions further.
It's nearly impossible to understand what you're saying, Chris.
I think he was speaking German.
Can you not hear me, Poppy?
It's very
Very
hard.
hard.
Very hard to understand you.
You're really echoey.
Chris then Anthony Burr would be one of the people as well.
Yeah.
To make that
See if we can fix that.
the 19.
Yeah.
Mm.
That looks like 19, doesn't it?
5,
10,
5,
15,
4.
19. Yep. And then from up here, you've got the second member of the flight team. There we go. That's 19 of you. And that means 2, 4, 6 are prepared to try and stay behind. So that's the first part of the plan. At least you've got it down to how many people you can actually fit into the helicopter. What's
Yeah.
the next part of the plan?
Well,
Get the ones that are on that side to also start making a hell of a lot of noise.
Good.
Not yet.
Just when the
Let's-
time
let's-
comes, yeah.
Yes, when the
start.
time's right.
well, I think they need to figure out where they're going to go that's going to be the safest. And they would know, seeing as they work on the oil rig.
Yeah.
And we, at least a couple of us, probably could do with going ahead of the others to. I mean, how long is it going to take to refuel?
Well, that's a question. Refuel a helicopter fuel tanks this size, medium pressure pumps. It's going to take a few minutes, certainly.
But wouldn't they have started as soon as it landed?
No, because they were worried about about 400 other things, to be honest. So they didn't. Well, you don't know that they didn't, actually. I mean, for all you know, it might be refueled.
Right. And no one here would have taken part in doing that?
Nope.
Could we ask? No.
You can ask, but no, nobody here would have had anything to do with refueling the
Well,
aircraft.
Right.
surely you could just check the tank once we get there.
You could, yeah.
I suggest. Well, actually, we
It's
could
just
just
more
dump
time.
everyone in the helicopter, and then one person could sneak out and refuel it by himself, or herself.
Yeah.
That's an option.
Yeah, that's possibly. Although I don't want to. We're trying not to attract them to the helicopter. I'm sure we had some kind of idea about using something on the rig to make noise as a distraction.
Yeah,
It
I like
was
that idea.
the big speakers, wasn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
it was.
They
Yeah.
were putting out the high pitch noise to hopefully get the bats to fly away.
That's correct, yes.
But we could use it maybe on the opposite side of the rig to distract the creatures away from where the helicopter is, at least.
It's a good plan, except for the fact that the comms system, the PA system, isn't zonal like that, so it's all or nothing.
Right, okay.
But you could have it go off at the right point in time so that it
Reduces
blinds and
their
distracts them.
yeah. I
Reduces
would,
their perception.
if it goes off whilst you're trying to escape, I will treat them as blind because they're preferred.
Blind as a bat.
Yeah, because their preferred method is to hear you. So they would be at -4.
Right, okay. Well, that'd help.
Tests, yeah.
Are we able to do that as is, or would we need to at least have someone go?
No, you just need to be able to get a message to the
Ah,
control
right,
room,
yes.
which you managed earlier. So there is a chance you could manage it again.
Is there a telephone in this room?
Yes, there is actually. I think that's how you managed it the last time.
But is there too much noise to use that?
Now that the pumps are running, it's very, very noisy. So you'll be kind of yelling down the telephone. But
Okay.
you don't know. You think they'll probably be able to hear you because you'll actually be at the phone. The noise will be behind you as long as you're yelling. You think you'll be able to make yourself understood.
Okay. Right. Well, I think we should just go for it then. Get them to time it for, I don't know, 30 seconds or something after we finish the call, and we run straight out.
Okay, so you'd call the control room and ask them to set off the sirens with the high-pitched screeches again to try and distract the bat creatures from the other verse. And you've asked them to do it in about 30 seconds. So are you sticking with Greg's plan of splitting everybody into smaller groups, or are you running as one large, much more easily noticed group?
Well,
Large group's easier to see, but if it gets attacked, it has a smaller chance of fending off the enemy.
yes, that's true.
Also, you noticed before that the creatures don't tend to attack groups beyond a certain size.
I was going to say it would look more intimidating as a
Yeah.
bigger group.
Yeah.
So I would say stick together as a bigger group.
Okie dokie.
They might follow us, but they might be less inclined to attack.
We didn't get a... Well, when I was bringing my herd before, I didn't get attacked, did I?
That's right. You
The
didn't.
men of war were kind of just... Well, they were picking us off, but... Yeah.
And if anyone's got any flares, get them ready to lob at the bastards if any of them come for us. Right, so
And obviously, get any weapons, like anything that you can defend yourself with before you go out.
right, well, we're gonna get ready at the door. Get ready to go.
Okay, which door are you heading for?
The north door.
The north door. The wrong one from the perspective of where I put everybody. That's
This
typical.
one. Yep.
That's on me. I'll
Seeing
just
they're going
shift
to the
these.
north door, I'll bring my team to the south door and we'll start making noise on their count.
Okie dokie.
Okay.
I know you've all kind of gone outside a bit there, but I'll sort that in a second. Okay, so that's the countdown up.
Dylan, where are you going? Well, not Dylan. He's inside.
Yeah, there you
Fred!
go. Right.
No!
Okay, so you guys all start banging on the walls. The moment you do, you can hear the banging on the other side gets more frantic as these things desperately try to find a way of getting in at you. Okay, so I am going to say at this point, could I have a a dexterity stealth check from the characters who are going to be in the escaping group, please?
Oh,
Oh, actually rolled
Jenny,
all right.
you
for
did
once.
good.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Right, so you doing a big sneak. So that is, you've made a roll and Alan's made a roll. Nobody else has yet made a roll.
Well, Sean said he would be right back.
Right, what is it you want me to roll? Dexterity?
Dexterity stealth.
Stealth.
Right. I don't have stealth. There you
Okay,
go.
so far your lowest number is 12. I just need a roll from Sean. He did say he would be back in a moment. So let's make a roll for the patrolling.
Mark as well.
Oh yes, sorry, Mark. I need a roll from you now.
I did roll.
Dr. Lockhart, he got 30.
Dr. Lockhart, yeah.
I do
sorry.
apologise. That's because your wife confused me and told me you hadn't rolled.
I need bother, Marco.
Domestic.
Okay, so let me just see if the combat. I'm just going to pop this out onto my second screen.
I don't suppose my team could make some kind of roll to be loud.
Sorry.
Yeah, I just need to answer his question first. Just give us a second.
Preferably strength might, because that's what I'm good at.
Strength might. I'm going to allow it. Yes, you can make a strength might roll. Sorry, Jenny. Go ahead and say what it was you were going to say.
Sorry. It's just like thoughts overlapping everybody else. Well, I got 4 stunt points. Could I use them to help increase everybody else's scores? Maybe?
Yes, you can split those 4 points. Oh shit! You can split those 4 points between the other players, the ones who got particularly poor rolls.
Yeah.
And Ben, you've got a 16 to cause extra noise at your end of the
With 3 stun
with
points.
3 stunt points. So I'm going to say that's a further 3 points penalty to the combat.
Sorry about that.
I have
Hello?
no idea what you're saying.
That's really loud.
Excellent.
It's gone.
Hello?
Yeah,
goodbye.
okay, we'll hear you now.
And was it what was that? Was it me? I'm sorry.
That was you. We were getting you in a sort of
Yeah.
bizarre screeching.
Oh, I didn't have any other earbud in. It was still in the charging dock. That's probably what it was.
Right, yeah.
All right.
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah. Okay, so I appear to have lost my little panelly thing I need. So I'll find it in a minute. I'm going to make a roll for the combat to try and hear you. It will be a perception hearing test. It will suffer -4 because it's been blinded by the high-pitched shrieking noise that the oil rig's now broadcasting. And another -3 because of all the racket that Greg's team's making at the other door. So whatever I
If these
roll
pass.
here, we'll take 7 off. I don't know what I rolled there because I've lost.
Yeah, they got 14. Minus the 7 would be 7, so...
Yeah.
Right, excellent. Yeah, I'm going to have to log back in. I've completely lost my chat panel. It's just disappeared. Ah, there we go. And it came back just in time for it to log me out and log me back in. There we go. So they got 14, so that's 7. So you guys are off and away without being noticed.
Phew.
So that's
Hell
your
yeah.
first. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if that was 2 people talking at once or one distorting massively. But could whoever was trying to speak tell me again what they were trying to say?
I just said hell yeah, if that's what you heard.
It might have been. I don't know.
It sounded like a barking dog.
It did.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
I'm still hearing it in the background, so I don't know what it is. But
Yeah, it's like
I hear that. I don't know what that is.
okay, so but
The
you know,
ghost of packed house.
yeah. Okay, so
Does somebody have TV on in the background, maybe?
No.
I don't hear anything where I am.
It's dead silent here.
I do, but it's on like a seriously low single figure volume.
yeah.
Mm,
Okay, so where am I at? Got a bit distracted by all that, and I've lost track of what I'm doing.
We've all escaped.
You are making an escape. That's right. I was going to count down the distance you've got. So that's your first roll. Has got you the first 20 meters.
okay.
So you've gotten out of the block. The combat that's patrolling the air around that thing has not noticed you. It was distracted partially by the high-pitched shrieking and partially by all the thunderous banging down the other end of the building. So it swang off south to take a look, spotted a large group of men of war there, and felt it could probably pick this one off, actually. So it's going to have a go, because it thinks it's hard enough. So let's just find out if that combat manages to kill this man of war, shall we? So it dives down, trying to take it by surprise. Combat, there we go. Character sheet and claw attack. And it scored I think that's a miss, 12. Although it's attacking from above by surprise, so that's going to be 13. Let me just see what the
Man of War's defense is 11, isn't it?
I can't remember. I'm going to have a look. Man of War. I think it's probably not much higher than that, yeah. So I think the thing got it. It did. 11, you are remembering exactly. So 11, that means it got hit by the creature's claws as it strafed it.
Go on, kill it.
11.
It's called... in fact, it scored 3 points of stunts in that attack as well. So it's done 3 damage. And it is also going to use... hasn't quite got enough for a swoop attack. So it's going to... Right, none of its preferred stunts, so it'll just do an extra dice of damage. So there's the basic damage, and there's
literally
the extra
double
dice.
damage.
Oh, sorry, 11 and 5. I'd already rolled the damage. That's 16 points of damage. It's done to this man of war. And okay, not often I have to ask myself this, but how would you like to end this man of war's miserable existence? There we go. So it swoops down and just rips the top off that man of war, and it just slops to the ground in a massive puddle of ooze and gore as this combat streaks back off into the air, its massive wings beating down, it's shoveling bits of the man of war into its mouth and flying off through these extremely high winds, which you thought would have taken a creature that size and just buffeted it about, but it seems to be able to cope. Meanwhile, the rest of you are off, sneaking and running. You get 20 metres, make it into one of the other containers, catch your breath a bit, look around, you think you've probably got an opening, and you go for it. Make another dexterity sneak roll, please.
Oh, actually fine.
Unfortunately, whilst the combats now still get
Shit.
penalty, oh dear, still get a penalty for the shrieking, they can no longer hear the pounding on the door. So that's an 8.
Well, if Jenny's passed, she did get a lot of stun points at least.
You
Yep.
did actually, you got 5
And I
stun
got
points.
3.
And you got a fail, so you don't get stun points.
Well, I'll use my stunts to help improve his score, and Dr. Marie's character. What
Yep.
you called?
Dr. Aston.
Yeah.
Dr. Aston.
You got 5 stunts as well, I think. Yes.
Yes.
So could
So
help.
what would you like to
Anthony?
do with the 5 stunts?
I got a very low roll.
I'm sorry, I'm just still in shock that I got 5 stunts.
So yeah,
How do you think
currently,
I feel when these sneak rolls?
Anthony, you've double rolled, but I'm going to keep your first roll because it's 1 point better.
Well,
Which stunt set am I using?
Yes, that's a good question. Exploration, I think.
Yeah, I'm just going to
Or
use mine
chase
to help
stunts you could use if you wanted to.
Lockhart's.
Okay, so you're going to pump 3 extra points into Dr. Lockhart, which takes him from 10 to 13. With a 3-point penalty, that means the second combat, or the group of combats patrolling this area, haven't heard you.
Ooh, okay.
So, you and the group make it another 20 meters. So that's 40 meters you've covered so far. You're a little bit less than halfway.
Right.
So you find a place you can hunker down for a moment. Make sure everybody's with you. You're all together. You all make it clear we're going to make that last bit dash. Well, it's not last. You've got a couple more dashes. I'm just going to kick you over to the other map, actually, I think.
All right, yeah.
There you go. So currently, I should probably put a marker in to show where the party is. So I'll just put a group marker. So if I come down to Chipping Grove, that's got a group marker, which is hiding from me. Doing a lurk. There it is. I'll do. Yeah, we'll use that one. Boing. Let me just pan out, see if I've got that anywhere near right. No, I've got you all running the wrong way for a start. It's probably not good, is it? Okay, so the next part of your run's going to involve a straight area with no cover for a while.
Right.
So
Okay.
you're going to have... Sorry, go ahead, Marie.
I have those 5 stunt points. Can I use chase stunts on these?
Yes, you can.
Okay. So can I use 3 for I'm trying to decide because there's a thing called follow the leader.
Yeah.
I'm not sure who's in the lead at the moment.
You're all kind of together, really. You're kind of one...
Mm.
I think mob is probably the best way to describe it.
Well, what I'm going to use is Evasive Maneuver, which is 2 points until your next turn attacks against you and your mount or vehicle, and I'm going to ask you to stretch that to the trolley with the ill guy on it that I'm pushing.
Yes.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I'm going to put +3 into burst of speed.
Okay, what does burst of speed do? Just give me a...
You gain a +1 bonus on your next chase test for every one stunt point you spend.
Okay, so instead of a +1 bonus, I'm going to give you an extra few meters worth of range. An extra, I'm going to say 2 meters worth of range. So no, make it 4 because the squares on this map are 4. It's going to be easier that way. So you are currently... Have I brought you guys across to this map? Or am I? Yeah. So you are currently here. Okay. So you're halfway across this open area. You've got a set of dog legs and some stairs, and then another set of dog legs, and then up on the long stairs. So that's the distance you've got to go next. I'm just going to draw you a little... So that's where you're going to get to after one roll.
Okay.
And then you'll have that area still to do, which will be... Yeah, so you've still got quite a way to go yet. So I'm just going to... But you should get here. Oh, should get here to this junction where a lot of the stairs and walkways meet.
Right.
In the next run, even though you've got a bunch of dog legs to work your way around. So, give me all another test as soon as you are ready to go.
God.
Actually, Marie, instead of that extra distance, you can use that bonus that would have been on the chase test on your dexterity stealth test instead, if you'd like.
Okay.
So, Alan's got a 15 this time. He's done a bit better. Dr. Gale, so the two doctors, even though you're hampered by having to push this gurney with an injured man on, you're kind of getting right into the most shaded places and running much more smoothly now. You've kicked the legs up so it's not on the ground with the wheels railing. So you're actually carrying them for a bit to make it quieter, and that's why you've managed to do your sneaky.
I'm having a psychic flashback to my previous life as a medic in Nam.
Fair enough. Okay.
Right then.
So, one more attempt at finding you the combats. It's still at -2 because of the... -4 because it's currently been deafened. I could just not click the hearing and then it's only -2. That's an 11. So, yeah. I'll just move you to where you've got... There you go. So you're about here.
Okay.
You're kind of gasping for breath again, looking round. The next bit is going to be quite open. There's a risk of being attacked up the stairs. There's a risk of being attacked down another set of stairs. There's still the air attack risk as well. So, when you're ready, make another roll. This time, I'm going to see if combats or man of war detect you. And the men of war are not suffering a penalty.
I mean,
Sorry, Chris, you spoke at just the wrong moment there, just as Jenny shot on everything. What would you like to say? What were you trying to say, Chris?
Is that him as well?
I think he's disturbed.
Yes, you roll as well, please, Chris.
That was an image I really didn't want, okay?
Yeah.
So,
No offense to Jenny, but you know.
so you're all kind of uniform here. That's 3 of you in a row. I've got a 10. So let's just see. I think we're still waiting for Mark's character to roll.
No, I rolled.
I've got Anthony Bird, Dr. Gale, and Erin Black are the only ones I've got since the combat's last roll. So if you'd like to give me a roll, see if you can't stunt hugely and pull them up a bit. You're stunted for 3 points. I'm going to allow you to give each one of them 1 point higher in their roll if you want to. Or you can pick a stunt of your own choosing.
I'll give them.
Okay, so it's 11 or better that these things are going to need. The combat's at -2 from whatever it rolls. Hasn't spotted. These things are completely befuddled by this shrieking that's coming out. In fact, as you look around, you can see most of the combats are currently... You know moths when they see a light?
Yeah.
The combats are doing that with the speakers. They're all flying on at the speakers and trying to grab the speakers and tearing them down. Trying to figure out why they're making these screeching noises. However, let's see if the tentacled monstrosities spot you. They need an 11, oh dear.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's not good. But on the bright side, it's not good. So I will find where to leave you all. Untitled. And it was this massive mob here. Copy. Now I need to squeeze this lot onto any one of these. We will use this one, I think. And I will paste you all in there. And we'll do this. And then I'll drag you over so you can see where you're at. except I've forgotten which one I used. There it is. Okay, so that's the mob that you're currently in. Right, surging along the... in fact, you need to be going this way now. That's the direction that you're kind of headed in. But as you do, you encounter, coming in the opposite direction, I think there's 4 of them have spotted you. So, I'm going to need you 4. Copy. You do hugely outnumber them though, so they might have second thoughts.
Make ourselves look bigger.
Yeah, I'm just going to move these back a bit because I feel you wouldn't crash into each other quite so head on, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So as you come round that corner to race up onto the thing, you see those... I seem to have caught these guys I didn't need. Hang on, let me just delete those. You can see these men of war coming round the other side. Now, your initial response was try and make yourselves look bigger. So, actually, make a strength intimidation test for me.
Okay, interesting.
All of us or just Jenny?
You can all do it, and I will allow the highest.
Oh, that was shit.
It
Was
wasn't.
it strength?
Yeah.
Strength intimidation.
Strength intimidation. Okay, so they've not actually got a great roll themselves, to be honest.
Right.
From Chris's character, he's big and burly.
Yeah,
It's a lot of 11s.
there is a
Yeah.
lot of 11s. Yeah.
11.
Okay, so the men of war have kind of come to a halt. They've come round the corner. They've seen you. They come rushing in. All these tentacles just flashing about everywhere. And then they notice more of you coming around the corner and more of you coming around the corner. And then they notice there's 4 of them and there's about 20 of you, and they've come to a bit of a halt and are now kind of a little bit less certain of themselves.
Good.
Okay.
Right.
So, what do you want to do? You've kind of got a bit of a standoff at the moment. There's 4 of these.
Which direction are we
We
supposed
chuck
to be going?
something at them.
You're trying to get east of here.
If you rush them, they'll probably run away because they're heavily
I've
outnumbered.
got a flare.
You've got a flare? Yep, you can do something with that if you want
Yeah.
to.
Maybe-
Toss a flare at them.
Yes. Make a accuracy test, please.
That's where I'm absolutely crap.
Accuracy wanging flare at alien monsters test.
In your face.
It's alright.
14, that's a direct hit. The flare lands in the middle of them and goes. This is going to require them to make another test. Because they were stalled by the first test, they're going to need to beat a 13, otherwise they're going to run away.
Okay.
So, let me just have a look.
I'll have a triple one. They rolled a triple one.
Oh,
Oh no!
As the flare detonates, these men of war just like, fuck this, we're out of here. Two of them just turn round and slobber off. The other 2 like scurry up.
Slobber.
Oh, yeah. The other 2 scurry up over the side of the rail and drop down onto the things on the other side to try and get away from whatever the hell this bizarre flashing light is. Without thinking, a lot of the oil workers you're with cheer and then suddenly realise why that's a bad idea.
yeah.
Now let's see if the cheer attracted any combats.
Oh,
This face?
They're going
Brian's
to need a 13 to hear you.
Typical GM
Ah,
punishing us for all of our
Oh,
actions.
Fuckers!
wait.
We get fucking 10s and 11s and look at these wee bastards.
Okay, that
This
yes,
dice roller hates us.
it does. But you're forgetting something. They needed a 13. The high-pitched shriek is still being broadcast. They're at -4.
right. Yay!
But sorry, -2 off of that. So that's 11.
Still yay!
They failed. So
Right,
combats
let's-
didn't hear the oil workers cheer. The men of war are terrified because there's a shit ton of you and you're chucking explodey things at them and they don't know what they are. They've run away and you just surge on up onto the platform. You're now at the bottom of the steps that lead up to the helicopter pad.
Whew,
I wanted
okay.
to kick the flare at one of the men of war that had gone down the thing.
Okay, you kick the flare over. Give me a brawling attack, please.
That's just accuracy, is it? Or is it
Yes.
fighting in this?
I'll
fighting?
allow you to use whichever one's the highest. Well, technically you're kicking it, no, make it accuracy. Kicking something at something. That's a 10, so it drops over the side and this man of war scuttles away from it.
It's just because it's a bright light, that was all.
Yes, it's
That'll
driven it
attract
away.
attention.
It's driven
Yeah.
it away, but it didn't actually hit it, so it hasn't done it any damage. This one's watching you all cautiously, but it's now hugely outnumbered, so you all just surge past. You make it to the bottom of the flight of stairs, which lead all the way up to the helicopter pad. So let me just drag you back over hither.
Okay.
Let's flip it off as we go past.
I was thinking
So,
that as well.
from where you were,
Something bad, he just like waiting for us up there.
anybody?
Nope.
I think you said something about the parents of the squids is going to get us.
Ah, right. Yeah, you
Chris
mean
sounds like he's
Cthulhu?
already in the sea.
I know, I was
Yeah.
going to say, like, it's underwater.
Yeah. It must be something about the acoustics of the room you're in, because it's not the room you usually.
He's in the Cree.
I know he's in the
and
Cree,
The
you told
internet
us
is
earlier.
really bad there.
Yeah.
So-
Is there a
so do you
reason
ever
he's
eat
lurking in
Jefferson?
the Cree?
No, it's all done out now, man. It's lovely. It's got its
I'm
own
a-
table, its own
Yeah.
border, and everything.
I'm aware it's lovely. I've seen the pictures in the volunteers thing. It's just obviously the internet isn't really reaching there very well, and the sound's terrible. So maybe not ideal. Okay, that's a shame actually, because we were hoping to do some internet TV broadcasting from there. Now we know it's not really viable. Okay, so you're at the bottom of the stairs. You look around. The next bit's the dangerous bit, because there's no way to sneak here. You're on stairs that are above everything. They're really, really easily seen. They're caged in, so any combats that see you while you're on the stairs can't actually get at you easily. But you would have to come out at the far end, and that could cause a problem. So, with that in mind, go ahead and give me a... Well, yeah, you can give us another stealth check. So be the last
everybody,
one,
yeah.
and then you're on the...
When you guys get to the helicopter, can you guys please check the back seat? Because I know Brian's one of the DMs.
Oh my
When you fly
god.
off and you're cheering, there's going to be like 50 man of war.
I don't think I've ever done that. That's much more a Jenny thing than a me thing.
Have you?
Oh,
I'm back on
Jesus, Sean.
target.
Oh my god.
And Sean. Yeah.
oh
That's
dear.
probably the lowest I've ever rolled in a
I
game.
think it probably is. I think there's a fairly strong possibility. Remember, they're still at a 2-point penalty from whatever it rolls here. 12. Yeah, they've definitely spotted you this
No,
time.
for fuck's sake, we're all rolling shit.
Yeah. So you've been spotted by several combats who start sort of circling around above you. Some of them come down and you hear clang, clang as their claws like hit the cage, the protective cage around the stairs. They're rending at it, trying to get in, but they can't get through. What do you want to do?
Do we not bring any stabby sticks with us?
I don't think anybody mentioned doing so. No.
I should have. I think I had a hammer with me.
That sounds familiar.
Um.
It's the claw hammer.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you'll not get a hammer through there either. You'd really need some kind of spear or stabby thing.
Shit balls.
If you're on stairs, could you like rip a railing off and use that? Maybe.
That railing's about 40 metres long.
To be
more, in
fair,
fact.
Yeah, as soon as she
It's a really
finishes
long
eating that
spear.
can of spinach.
won't the doctors have like surgical knives or something?
You're going to scalp
I
them
mean-
with a
Yeah.
Yes, but a scalpel is a very short weapon.
Yes, but you could attach it to.
Come at me,
Yes,
I'll cut your
if we
toes.
had, if we've got medical tape, which we should have,
You will
We
have.
could tape
tape
it to a
it to
finger.
something, to a stick or something, and
I've got a hammer.
use the handle of the hammer.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's got a flick hammer.
Flick hammer.
That should be a
Yeah.
weapon and something.
It really should, yeah.
It's got squeaky ends on it and some beads in the middle.
Okay,
Hit something, it goes,
so meanwhile, whilst you're trapped there, Greg,
Yes.
you are currently still trapped in here with the others. The
Hunkering down, I think you'll find.
hunkering down, yes, there is the banging on the doors seems to have stopped. So you're not quite sure if the things are still out there or not.
Because I think you were going to try and get somewhere a bit safer, weren't you? As far as I can remember.
What would you like to
Tell you
do?
what, I'm gonna assume I have a radio, or
Yes.
one of my crew members has a radio. I'm
Correct.
gonna try and radio through to one of the other team and ask them if they've made it to the copter yet.
Okay. Give me a... this is more... yes, give me an engineering roll. See if you can get through all the static that's been caused by the
Sick.
storm.
Well,
Uh,
not great.
okay, you say what you're attempting to say, and I'll make static noises over the top of it.
I don't suppose this is related to oil or gas extraction because I get a +1 then.
I'm afraid it's not. No.
What a surprise.
So go ahead, talk in character, send the message you're trying to send.
God. Hi guys, Greg here.
Oh, God.
Have you guys made it to the helicopter yet? Is everyone okay? Who's that opening the crisps on the other line? This is not the time.
Oh my god!
So
I don't know who
guys,
that was.
that's what you heard.
That's Russell.
Russell.
Fuck's sake.
Can I just your Foley unit's a bit shit.
To be fair, that's me with the plastic bag. I'm not in the studio, I'm at home.
I know. I thought it might be you with the plastic bag, Brian.
It was Bryan in the studio with a plastic bag.
To be honest, I thought he was just blowing raspberries down the mic.
It's a weird game of Cluedo.
It's all just fallen apart, hasn't it?
Okay, so I don't know how much of what he said you could actually make out, but what would you like to try and answer?
I heard it all right, actually, aside from the fact
Me
it's
as well.
cracking me up. I'll say... I'll... I can't, seriously. Right, I'll say, yeah, we're nearly at the helicopter, but we've been ambushed by some of those bat creatures, but we're nearly there.
So, can my character understand? Can my character piece together what they're saying?
Did you hear what you said?
I heard what you said.
Then I'm going to say yes.
Well, I'll say to my team, it's like, gather around, guys, gather around, and we'll all do like the football huddle. I'll say, right, so the situation here is they've got to the helicopter, but they're trapped on the landing deck by some combats or by some bats. I say we go out there and we do what we do best, and we distract and we get in the way, so they can get to the helicopter. Because if they don't get to the helicopter, we don't get off this. We don't get off this scrap heap, or something along the line of that.
That's a good stirring speech. Make a persuasion check. So that's communication persuasion. I'm going to say, because of the
Shit,
nature of the
communication.
speech, 11 is going to be your target number.
Okay. Oh man, no!
Do you have a conviction point?
I spent it before.
No, never mind then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've already spent it.
Okay, so you give this. You've seen Game of Thrones where Theon Greyjoy's given the stirring speech to the Iron Islanders, and they all cheer
Yeah.
and then whack him over the back of the head.
It's just that.
So you give this stirring speech, and one of them's murmuring, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. And one of the other ones goes, no fucking chance, I'm not going out there.
Well, I'll say, well, I'm going out whether I can or not. I was put in charge of taking care of those people and making sure they get off this wreck. And by God, I swear I'll do it.
That's stirring. Go ahead, give us another roll.
I'm gonna get even worse. Just watch. That's perception. I rolled the one. I mean, it's the
damn.
same stat.
It's the same, so I'm going to allow it. If you had no bonuses in either, 13, the others go, for fuck's sake. If you're going to get yourself killed, I at least want to watch, and all decide to come with you. So,
Hurrah!
yeah, hoorah, exactly. Yes, you can open the door now.
And immediately get swarmed by the men of war. Peeking through the door, or through the windows preferably.
Hello, what's going
Do
on
I
here?
see any men of wars or combats lurking?
You see several men of war out there lurking, but they're all kind of looking up, as if they're kind of tight in against the walls, kind of looking and clustered together, I should point out as well, so I should probably...
Oh. Absolutely not going out that way. What about the north entrance?
You can take a look at the north entrance. You can't see anything dangerous out there.
Then I suggest we go to the north entrance.
Okie dokie. Let me just move you up that way.
How many of us have weapons, and are there any like spare pipes or anything we could gather from
Going
here?
to say everybody is armed with an improvised weapon.
Okay, cool. That makes this easier.
I think, yes, it does make it a little bit easier. So you head on out. You dash out of the door, and I'm going to see if the patrolling combat in the area spots these squishy things and thinks, I've just had a man of war, but I could do with some pudding.
Do you want me to like roll a stealth or something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hello, how's my communication?
That's sounding a lot better there now, Chris.
I've left the tree.
That's made a huge difference. You're coming across loud and clear now.
Mm.
Yeah. Alright, I rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10, right.
A Wi-Fi beast.
Not
for that
great,
one.
but
Yeah. Not great, but this thing's still at minus 2 after I take its hearing off, so that's 15. That's definitely spotted you.
not gonna matter.
Yeah, that's not going to matter. So, 2 combats spot your group and dive to the attack. There is this one. Oops, a daisy. There is this one, which I need to drop in. That's on token layers now, and that one's already on token layers, just to make my...
Fuck, lads, leg it!
And that one's coming round this corner. So, we're going to open up a turn order. I am going to blank it off. You are going to give me the initiative roll for yourself, please.
Oh my god!
Okay, that's piss poor.
Holy
He
shit.
rolled a triple one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, it makes it hard to move when you're
I've-
covered in your own shit.
accidentally rolled the combats there instead of the oil workers, so let me just make the adjustment. They're still done pretty well, actually. Now the combat itself. Combat, dexterity, initiative. And that didn't seem to add, did it? Didn't seem to add that at all. I wonder why. So I'm just going to add in manually. Add turn. It came out on 14. Return. This combat. I got 16, and that combat did go in, so one of them didn't. he's in now manually anyway. Okay, so I'm going to order this descending, and there.
Can I stick myself in front of the other guy so I get hit rather than my friends?
On your go, you can. Yes, when it gets to your initiative, you can. Actually, you can decide which order you all dashed out of that door. You position yourself and those five guys before we actually start. And I'll move.
I can't move them, but I just want to be. I would go out first.
Okay, so we'll say you've gone out first, and the others are kind of. Does that look okay for you?
That's fine.
That kind of clutter in there. Right, you are. So
heroic.
Isn't he just? So this combat comes streaking down to attack you. I'm going to ask you for something this might surprise you. Could you give me a perception seeing test, please?
Okay. Not good.
You haven't noticed. Okay, so there was something about that combat that has escaped your attention, but you can attempt to roll again each combat round. So
the fact that it's glowing yellow. That what's escaped my attention.
Of course you can see that. In that case, it hasn't escaped your attention. It is bleeding heavily. It's already wounded. However, it is insanely aggressive, driven partly mad by its wound. It dives to the attack. It tries to claw your face off.
Yeah, that's it.
With 6 points of stuns. So, with 6 points of stuns, it's going to... There's no point in a momentum game, so let's do a swoop stunt. Look, it's grabbed a target and taken to the air. In addition to the normal damage for this attack, the creature has immediately 8 yards in any direction. A grab target is at -2 penalty in all its attacks and damage rolls. Target may attempt to break free from the creature's grip by spending a major action in an opposed strength might test. If they succeed, they can free themselves from the creature's clutches, but will fall to the ground. So that's good, isn't it? So it's swooped down, it's grabbed you in its claws, doing 10 points of damage.
Well, I have 3 toughness plus 1 piece of armor.
So 4 comes
only
off.
6 damage.
That's right.
Only
it is.
6 damage.
Yeah. However, you are grabbed by the big stabby claws of this beastie. So I just need to put a little green upwards thing on to show that you are in its what's names?
Dylan, hit the fucker.
And it is Dylan to go. So, Jenny, since I heard your voice first, would you like to make Dylan's attack for him, please? He has 3d6 plus 2 to try and hit this combat.
By Dylan, do you mean every single man there? Because all of them could just wail on this guy.
I mean, yes. 10, that's a miss. So he swings his piece of pipe, boom, and misses. Okay, Chris, I noticed you were typing there, so would you like to roll for this guy, please? 3d6 plus 2.
Yes. 1, 2, 3, 3d6 plus 2. Still have a delay on the roll. I don't know what's going on.
It's not as bad as it was. So that's
another shit roll.
That's a
Hit
miss
the
as
bat,
well.
not me.
So, Mark, would you like to have this guy who's run round to try and twat this bat do a 3d6 plus 2 roll to try and hit this bat, please?
We are rolling so shit.
Yep.
Ben, I think this is the end of you.
This isn't the end of me. This isn't where my story ends.
You still have a conviction?
That's a miss.
No, I spent it before.
For fuck's sake.
Okay, so this guy runs into attack. So, Sean, would you like to make a roll? I should really be adding bonuses to hit for all the... So
that is true.
4. What dice do you want?
3d6 plus 2. And you get a further plus 3 bonus because you're now mobbing the combat.
So plus 5 to this.
Yeah.
Go on, you can't miss now.
15.
15, I think that's a hit.
Jesus,
I
finally.
think that is a hit.
Yep, its defense was 13, so go ahead and roll the damage. He is using a massive mel, so it's going to be d6 plus 1 plus his strength. These are strong guys, so they get another plus 2. So that's d6 plus 3 in total.
There you go.
Oh,
Wow.
Okay, so 4 points of damage to the combat, which by the time I take off its toughness is 1 point of damage. So it is only
It's
vaguely
bleeding,
aware of the
it's
fact it's been hit.
yeah, the one person who hit it basically just scratched it a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, Marie, you might want to take this guy then. So it's
Right.
3d6 plus 2 is his normal chance to hit. He's currently getting on 2, 3, 4, plus 4 because of all the other people attacking the combat as well. So that's a hit. So
Hey.
go ahead
Nice.
and roll 2d6 plus 3 damage, please.
Yes.
Oof.
Hey, that's better.
So he comes running out with a massive piece of pipe, and as the thing's ducking to get away from Dylan, he brings it round and smacks it right across the nose. Bang! So that is 7 points of damage got past.
Take that, you fiend.
It's actually quite woozy as a consequence. It's very, very badly injured now.
I just thought it's aura spurting blood. That's graphic.
Isn't it just it? However, it is now the next combat, which is coming hurtling round the corner and attacking this guy from behind. So this combat gets +1 on this attack. 17, that's a hit. So that is 11 points of damage to this guy. So that'll be 2 comes off, so that's 9.
Jimmy?
Shit, he's damn near dead. It comes sweeping in and slashes him right across the shoulder and the side of the face, just under the helmet. Greg, it's you to go. What would you like to do?
I'm a yell, go lads! Get to the helicopter, get to the chopper.
Save yourself.
Get to the chopper.
Okay,
And I'm gonna punch this thing in the face, going, "You ugly bastard!"
Nice
Wailing
one.
on its face.
roll to hit. You're at -2, unfortunately, because it's got you in its grip. But roll to hit.
You got it.
Fighting.
Come on.
13.
Yeah.
So
well.
with your -2, that drops to 11, and I think you needed
Yeah, that's a miss.
13 to hit. Yeah, that's a miss. I'm afraid.
Would I get a bonus because he's outnumbered?
Oh shit! Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get +1, 2, 3, 4. So you've hit him.
So yeah.
Nice.
You've punched him right in the face. Bat! Which is still bloodied from because that's where the oil worker Marie rolled for, twatted it with a pipe. So you see the opportunity and punch driving right into the wound. You've punched though, so it's just your standard punchy damage, which is 1d3 plus your strength.
Plus my strength, which is 2. 4 damage.
4 damage.
Not massive.
So that's 1 point gets past its toughness. Right, you are. There you go. You've punched it. It sort of howls and screams and spits in pain. It's annoyed at you. So annoyed that it's going to attempt to tear your head off by biting you in the
Oh,
face.
nice.
Well, that's not very polite.
It's not, is it? So it bites down at your face. 15, that's a hit.
Yeah,
And
I believe it
8
is.
points of damage.
8 minus the 4, so 4 goes through. You know what? I'm fine.
Right, you are.
Half health.
So its teeth are sinking into your flesh through the safety helmet. It's biting into the sides. You can feel blood running down your cheeks and the top of your face.
That's the best you got.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like, come on, come at me. Right, Dylan. Who was rolling for Dylan? That would be this
Jenny.
guy here.
I think it was
think-
me.
Okay, go for
I
it.
think you had Dylan, and then Chris was next, and then blah blah blah.
What was it again? 3d6 plus 2.
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
Jalen. Jenny Lynn.
Ooh.
Oh,
And
that's with 6 points. No,
3 points of stunts.
3 points. Yeah, that's right.
So that's a hit with 3 points of stunts. What would Dylan like to do?
Oh, let's see. Preferably. combat stance. Let's see, 3. Could make another attack.
Yep.
I could knock it prone.
Okay, that would knock it to the ground, forcing it down to earth.
Yes, I'll do knock prone for 2, and then let's see.
Okay.
1 for duck and weave, gain +1 to defense
Right.
until the beginning of the next turn. That'll do.
Okay, so desperately trying to get it down to the ground, you jump up, just grab the tip of its claws, its feet, its toes, I suppose you would call them, and whang it in the bollocks with your mail. Bang! Which causes it to tumble head over bollocks and crash to the ground, dropping down on top of Greg, not hard enough to hurt him. But
All right.
you have obviously hurt this creature, so go ahead and roll the damage.
What's the damage?
You're using the mail, so that's 1d6 plus 3.
Oops, shit balls.
Yeah, that's what
One
you
max damage.
Hey,
Oh shit!
not bad.
Okay, describe how Dylan ends this monstrosity.
Okay, maybe when it lands, oh god, I don't know. What's he gonna do? What's the weapon he's got again?
A mail, it's like a huge hammer, two-handed hammer.
Alright, he'll take one massive whack at its bollocks and send it flying over the edge.
Right, you are.
Aim for the team.
So, you whack it in the bollocks, it crashes to the ground holding its spuds. You then use the hammer like a golf club and poof, whang it in the side of the face, and it just skids across the ground, leaving a bloody smear before dropping off the side of the platform.
Fuck yeah, Dylan.
Okay, so that was Dylan.
I'm just imagining Dylan going, yeah, I just imagined it was you.
Yeah. So Chris,
Yeah,
what would your guy like to do, and which one was he? Can you remember? Let's say it was this one.
Me?
Yeah. What would you like to do?
Let's see. Help Greg up, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. You help.
I think you should all run.
Yep.
I think you should run. I don't really want to risk anyone else's lives. I think we should just go.
I'm going to tell this guy to start. Is he pinched or anything like that, or is it just being attacked?
He's been attacked. This guy's been attacked. He's very, very badly injured. Greg looks pretty badly hurt.
So Greg's saying just to go.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm telling everyone to just go.
I'm going to grab this guy. I'm going to do what my famous thing on the right of the card. I'm going to grab his hand and we got it.
Okay, so you two make a run for it. You're
Everyone
often
else hopefully is following me.
right. So who's up next? Mark. What's your character going to do?
He's going to try and run.
He's going to run as well. Yep, no problem. He takes off after.
I was going to say, mini suggestion. You guys should totally name these people so it's easy to keep track of them.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So Mark, what would you like yours to be called?
I bet.
Bobford.
Yeah, I knew he was going to say that.
What did you say?
Bobford.
Bobford. Right. Okay. Bob it is. And Chris, what do you want yours to be called?
Tony.
Tony? He's great.
Oh no.
New York Tony. I think the other one already got given the name as well.
Tony, heart of a tiger.
Yes. Okay, so that leaves who was playing this one?
That'd be me, I think.
That would be you. What would you like? What would your guy like to do?
Well, I'm armed with some length of pipe, aren't I?
That's right. Yes.
So try and batter that bat again, I think.
Okay.
Cover the others' retreat.
As the other bat sweeps in to attack from behind, you try to cover their retreat. You step forward you've got it in a grip like a baseball bat, and you take a swing. Woof, roll to hit. 3d6 plus 2.
Do we still get the +4 for outnumbering it?
Not anymore, but there is one other person fighting it, I would say. So, well, technically he's not. No, you don't. So no bonus this round.
Okay.
I mean, you could technically aim, but that would only bring it up to 11 anyway.
You could aim. I'm going to let you aim. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that would bring it up to 11. Yeah, okay. So that's a miss. So it's that combat to go, and it's got a choice between Greg and the person who just tried to welly it like it was a baseball. I think it's... I don't know. Do you think it would go for the person who's bloodied or the person who's trying to beat it?
Whichever is the most.
Just roll the dice. Just roll.
Okay, I'm going to roll a d6, right? And if this d6 comes up 1, 2, or 3, it'll attack Greg. If it comes up 4, 5, or 6, it'll attack the other oil worker.
It go for the one that'd be a threat, I think.
Yep, it
Yeah,
looks
it
like
would.
that's what it's done. So it's
Yeah.
sweeping in to attack the threat. And it is going to attempt to gouge the threat's face open. 16, that's a hit. So that guy's taken 7 damage. That's dropped to 5 past his protective bits and bobs. So it sweeps in, and the person who smacked it like it was a baseball, it slashes him across the chest in retaliation as it sweeps forward past it, because it's in the air, remember, so it's still kind of moving. So, Greg, it's back round to you, actually.
Marie, what's your character's name?
I haven't named it yet.
What would you like to name it?
I'll grab the unknown assailant and just kind of yank him off with the other group, and we're going to just book
I'll
it.
use Chris has put up a bunch of names. I'll use William,
William?
Bill.
Bill. Okay, so, you're Bill. Sorry, Ben, what were you saying? Bill and Ben.
I'll grab Bill, be like, Bill, you crazy fucker, come on! And I'll yank him along, and as I go past, I'll give Dylan a big high five.
Right, so you guys are running as well, is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm grabbing Bill and I'm making him run.
Okay.
Forcing him to run.
Yep, so you guys all run for it. You high-five Dylan, who's kind of left behind.
Dylan, come on!
But it is Dylan to go. What would Dylan like to do?
He's gonna follow
Okay.
after them, but he'll be keeping an eye on that bat as well. So if it swoops in, he's gonna be ready to give it a whack.
Okay, so we appear to have gone into a chase here.
Yeah.
I believe we have.
We have indeed. So let me just check the combat speed, because if it's over 14, it's not.
Can we get a bust of yakety sax?
Do you know? I think I might have that loaded.
Can I declare? Can I declare that if the
Copyright.
combat...
Yakety sax is copyright music.
Good point. So no, we can't. Okay, so those of you who are running away, give me a Constitution stamina test, please.
Can I say if the combat gets within melee range, can I just immediately whack it with whatever weapon I have?
Yes.
Oh,
I guess-
I'm going for days.
Fucking
Are we
hell,
just
right?
using our normal characters' constitution?
Ah, shit.
Because what is theirs?
Do you know what? Yes, I'm going to allow you to just use your standard character's constitution. It's just going to be easier, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Can I use my tolerance thing?
No, because I don't think the oil
Because their
workers like.
constitution as workers might actually be higher than my one.
You've talked me into it. Yes, you can. So that would be Greg is on a 6. That would be Bill, is it? No, Tony. Tony is on a 2, and Bill is also on a 2. Yeah, okay.
Dylan is mine.
And Dylan, you tell me what you got on the stunt dice?
6.
6. Right, so Dylan and Greg have managed somehow to leave last, but have torn past everybody else. Right, and you're just off and running. Like, fuck you guys, we're out of here. And this combat is streaking in behind you, so let's make a chase test for the combat. It needs to beat a 9 on its...
Get an 8. Get an 8.
So it will be coming up on Constitution Stamina. There we go. Did that come up? That didn't. There we go. 14.
Yeah.
So it's on a 4. So it's in combat range with everybody at the moment. So it's more or less keeping pace with you.
Right.
So,
Well,
Can I
Dylan-
make a suggestion?
yes, you can.
I mean, to all the people that are here,
Mhm.
one of the things that humans have above other animals is we can all work at the same time.
Yeah.
So why don't we all pull this fucker out the sky? Because if we grab its legs, our combined weight and strength might mean we can pull it right down and then kick the shit out of it on the ground.
Maybe that's a good idea.
Okay, well, it
As
is.
long as Jimmy stays behind, like, so he's very injured. This is Jimmy.
Right, okay. Well, it is Dylan to go first, anyway.
If a couple of these workers are Scottish, that thing has got no chance.
That's true, yeah.
Right, well, Dylan was poised to whack it anyway.
Yes.
He will try and whack it, like, to bring it down.
Okay, go for it. So that's a stunt attack. You need to beat 13 to hit it. If you succeed, you automatically, you don't do damage, but you automatically bring it down and make it prone. However,
Ooh, with
you
6 stun
succeeded with
points.
6 stun points. So in total, you get 8 stun points, but 2 of them have to be used for what you said you were going to do, which is to bring it to the ground. So you now have 6 stunned points. What would you like to use those for?
You can set it up.
And
do damage.
Let's see. Well, I mean, I've already knocked it prone,
Yeah.
so
That's set up for the next person to hit it.
where is the setup stunt?
Should be under combat stunts, I think.
It's
Or
not in
melee stunts, it
general.
might be.
Ah, right, basic melee. Just so I know it's not in there.
Could you like skirmish it off the edge of the oil rig?
No.
Considering it's knocked prone as well.
Yeah, but you're currently in like a large platformy sort of area, so unfortunately not.
Shame.
Right, not on any of those that I can see. It's not on basic melee and it's not on general combat.
Okay. Setup usually costs, I think. Sean, you appear to be reading it at the moment. What's the stun point
No,
cost?
I'm not reading it. I can get it.
All right, okay.
The manual there.
Can you
There
disarm it?
It might be from the fantasy rules, actually. But have a look at the others, Jenny, see if there's anything else you'd rather do.
Yeah. Let's see.
This is the
Could
only
you wait, Jenny? Could you do hinder? It's under the grappling stunts technically.
Grappling
But,
stunts, yes.
And if attacked with fighting grappling, your opponent's next melee attack damage is reduced by 2 per SP spent.
Because if you could reduce it by 2, 4, 6 potentially, if you spent all 3 points on that, we could kick the shit out of it and it couldn't hurt us, or it couldn't hurt us as much.
You've got a point.
Yes. Take down. Yeah, I'll use some for take down.
Yeah.
Sorry, hinder. I mean.
Right.
3. So if that's 3, then its next melee attacks damage is reduced by 6. Then in total, if I
Shit,
use 3
right,
for
okay.
that. And then I've still got 3 left.
Mhm.
I'll make a lightning attack because I'm kicking the
Good.
shit out of it as well.
Yes, okay, so it comes flying in, and you bring the hammer round and bang across its face with a downward arc, so instead of like taking your head off, it gets clipped in the head, and you fracture its wing on the through swing as well, so it comes straight down and crashes into the ground, where you immediately swing your hammer over your head and bring it down for your second attack. Go ahead and make your second attack.
Yep, and then I'll roll the damage for both of them after this.
Yeah.
Is 11?
It's currently prone, so that is just a hit.
Okay. Right.
Sick.
What's the damage again that I'm supposed to be rolling?
1d6 plus 3, so it would be 2d6 plus 6, because you're doing 2 lots of damage. I'll just apply its defense twice.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Again.
I know, I keep doing it. I mean, it's
Good
alright.
damage. It's
Okay,
good damage.
so that's a total of 11 damage. Its defense gets applied twice because that's technically 2 separate hits. So let me
Remember,
just
it's
have
at
a-
-6 to its melee attacks as well. Next
Yeah,
time.
that's right. So it's managed to take 6 damage off that, so that's 5 damage gets through. So
Okay.
-5. Wang! You've brought the hammer down on its back. You can hear spines popping and cracking a bit. So whack! But then it just kind of hisses at you as if to say, that just annoyed me. Lunch. So, Bill, what would Bill like to do?
Kick the shit out of it.
Yep. Kick it.
Kick it?
It's on the ground, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
Actually, I've got a crowbar, so I'm just going to wheel on it with a crowbar, yeah?
Right, go for it. Okay, so that's 2d6 plus 3 to hit.
You could aim, and it's outnumbered, and it's prone.
And it's prone, yeah.
Yeah, so it's prone, it's outnumbered, so you get plus 2 plus 3. Still a miss. Still a miss. So that is Bill done, Dylan done. So it is Bob next. Who's Bob? As if I didn't know. Hi, Bob. Mark.
That's Mark.
Up 2 seconds, I was on mute for fuck's sake.
In years to come, that's what the button's going to be called. Mute for fuck's sake.
Yeah. The FF.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, okay, so you attempt to stomp on it, but it's just writhing and flopping about, and you're not managing to hit it.
Oh my
Tony.
god.
What would Tony like to do?
What weapon do I have?
It'll be an improvised weapon of some kind. So I'm going to say a huge wrench.
Okay, like the big ones that you turn the oil off.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Can I do a charging attack?
Yes, you can. It's +1 to hit. Dunk, dunk, dunk,
Okay.
dunk, dunk. Thwang.
Going
Yeah.
for the curb stomp, are you?
Yeah. You'll now get +1, 2, 3. You'll get +4 to hit it because there's so many people wading in now.
So it's 3d6 plus 2 and then the +4, yeah?
That's correct, yes.
Very nice.
Okay. I'll roll it with the bonuses on.
You can do. Do it any way you like.
It's forever to roll the dice on this app today. I have rolled the dice, by the way. I'm just waiting.
It's okay. We'll just
I'm
wait
gonna
for it.
predict you're gonna get a. I'm gonna predict you get a 16.
God, it's taking its time. isn't it?
While we're waiting for his dice roll to come up, I'll just tell a quick little story that should fill in the gap. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's a hit. A very palpable hit. So you whack it with this huge wrench. Twang. Go ahead and roll the damage. The damage being 1d6 plus 3 in total.
I'm adding Vicious Blow to that and Skirmish.
Could you just tell me how you're adding those?
Do I not have stunts? No.
No.
Got
A 3, a 4, and
Oh,
a 6,
I
so you didn't get any doubles.
Oh.
All right, yeah.
Okay. No.
That's okay.
So sorry. The damage. Yes.
Yes.
How much is it with the big giant ring?
It is 1d6 plus 3. That's
Wow.
9 damage, so you bring that down on the creature's back as well. 6 gets past its defenses, so you can feel bones breaking as you hit it with this huge metal tool. Thwack, crack. And this guy over here doesn't seem to have been named yet and is half dead. What's he doing?
He's called Jimmy.
He's called Jimmy.
Named
Right,
him
you are.
before.
Let me just name Jimmy then. So what's Jimmy doing and who's got control of Jimmy?
Go on then.
No, I didn't have control of Jimmy. It was
Well,
not
you
someone else.
named
You can
him.
now. I'm saying. Me? Okay.
Yeah.
How weak does this thing look for me now?
To Jimmy, it doesn't look that weak to him. And it
He's
looks
gonna.
looks better off than he looks.
How much health does he have currently? Because I can't see that.
Jimmy's got 6 health points left.
Fucking hell.
He is gonna hold his action.
Very wise. Okay, so the combat, which has now been surrounded, is going to lash out in a desperate attempt to try and reduce the number of people attacking it. So the first thing it's going to do is try and kill Bill.
You were waiting for that one.
He knew that was coming.
I'm struggling to find where I've put my combat.
-6,
Outside your
remember.
yourself.
Put it down on the floor.
There it is.
Oh, these people have.
Yeah. Combat. Slashy stabby. It's going to try and bite him. And 12, it's hit him. It's only
No, it
just hit him.
hasn't.
Oh shit, no it hasn't.
-6.
-6, well done Jenny. You've just saved Bill's life, I suspect. So Greg, what would you like to do?
Well, I can't miss out on the fun. I'm gonna. What weapon do I have?
I think you had a
Harsh
large hammer
language?
as well, if I remember rightly. Harsh language.
Well, I'm gonna put it to good use.
Okay, make an attack.
3d6, and it's +1 plus my strength. isn't it?
No, that's for damage. So your chance to hit it is 3d6 plus your
Plus-
fighting skill.
+2, yeah. Yeah.
13,
Oh.
that's a hit. Go ahead and roll the damage. The damage is 1d6 plus 1 plus your strength.
Okay, so that's +3. Ugh.
4
Well-
damage, right you are. So you whack it with a hammer in the leg, but it barely seems to notice. There we go. Look at that, he didn't even get a little blood splatter effect. So it is, oh god, it's back to Dylan.
Dylan, who seems to be particularly good at murdering these things.
He does.
I'll say that he's probably going to roll shit now. Right, he's going to whack it again as per
Triple
usual.
six.
Ooh,
17, that's a hit.
17. It's 1d. It's 1d6 plus 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
5.
5 damage, so 2 gets through.
That's shitter than before, but you know.
Yeah. So he continues wailing on this thing with his big hammer. Whack, whack. He can feel bones crunching underneath the impact, and it is Bill to go next.
I'll join in the beating.
Right, you are. You take your crowbar and you attempt to give the combat an enema. Go ahead and make your attack.
It's not Shaun of the Dead.
Bonuses.
Okay, that's a hit. Yes, that's a hit with all the other people wailing on this thing. It's thrashing about
Right,
in a panic now.
2d6 plus 3, yeah.
That 1d6 plus 3 for damage. Yeah. And that's 6 damage. So that's 3 gets through. So let's just do a -3 calculation. There we go. So you stab it in the thigh, in the buttocks, with the end of the crowbar, causing it to squeal and thrash about and yell, as you might imagine. And Bob to go next, Mark.
Right.
Headbutt it. That's a hit, isn't it?
That is a hit. Yes, it is, because it's on the ground and surrounded. So it's 1d6 plus 3 damage.
Hey, not bad.
Yeah, so the doctors decided that this first do no harm thing's right out the window.
It's not the doctor, though.
No, it's not. You're quite right.
Yeah,
5,
yeah,
7, 8.
true.
I'm kidding. That's 5 get through its defences, and it's looking to be in a very, very bad way now. You can see
He's going red.
its aura's turning red. Yeah. And that is Tony. Tony to go next.
Come on, Tony.
Okay, let's say I'm going to just whack him.
Murder it.
Okay, you take your opportunity to whack the thing. And 14, that's a hit. Roll the damage. 5, that's 2, gets past. It's extremely badly hurt now.
It's like whittling away at it.
Whittling away is the right word, I think, yeah. It's on the verge
Jimmy
of
held
collapse.
his action. He's going to come in and do the last hit.
Okay, so Jimmy's going to rush in and try and hit it. I say rush, he's going to stumble in, try and hit it with this length of pipe he's got.
Jenny's going to say, "You bastard! You nearly killed me."
I've seen Friday nights like this.
Yeah,
Outside
Yeah.
pubs.
yeah. That's a hit. That's a hit. Go ahead and roll 1d6 plus 3 damage. 7 damage. That's 4 gets through. So that's minus 4 on there.
Yay!
Dead.
So he
Hell
brings
yeah.
his pipe down on the back of the thing's head and breaks its neck. Crunch. It just splays out and lies dead, and you all return to the job of trying to get the hell out of here.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of a quote from Planet of the Apes.
Go on.
Apes together strong.
Yes. Yeah, largely. However, you've now got 3 badly injured people. Out of that, you went into the fight with people in good nick, but you've got 3 wounded out of 6. And not really any chance to try and get a breather, because if you stop now, you're going to be in trouble. So you take off again in the hopes that... Where the hell was it you were going again? I forget.
We were going
help us.
to go to the landing pad, and we were going to try and make more noise so the people could get on the helicopter.
That's right, you were. So you're going to try and dash off to the helicopter. Meanwhile, those of you who are currently trapped in the cage over at the helicopter landing pad, I'll just drag you back here. That is the helicopter landing pad. I need the...
Nice helicopter.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I need that map. There. What are you doing? You've got more and more of these creatures are kind of being attracted now that one's spotted. It's making this keen wailing sound. In fact, I do believe that keen wailing sound has an effect. And I keep
No, it doesn't.
forgetting and I keep forgetting that the combats can do this. So, blood curdling call.
Ugh.
Let me just have a look at blood curdling call.
Can I launch a flare into its face to shut it up?
Depending on the outcome of this, you might well be able to. So,
Okay.
major action. It lets loose a terrifying call. Every target within 10 meters, that's all of you, must succeed a TN12 willpower courage test or suffer -1 on all attacks and defense. So
Great.
go ahead and give me... also, I'm going to say, if you fail, add a fear point.
Fuck balls. I definitely failed.
Okay. So you've failed. Anthony Burr's passed. Jeremy Halford's passed. So I need one from everybody, please. So that is... Gail has just scraped a pass.
Mark? I think he's the only one left.
I think so.
2 seconds.
Doctor, wake up!
Willpower courage.
Has passed. So, Erin is the only one to be struck by fear, so you add that 1 fear point I mentioned.
Yep.
And you
I'm
said
getting
you wanted...
stressed about having to fly this thing out.
Probably, yeah. You said you wanted to try and launch a flare. Is that still your plan?
Yes, into that creature's face, if I can.
I don't see why not. Make an attack. It would be an accuracy-based attack.
Okay.
You're going to need
Does being
13
scared make
to
you
hit.
more accurate?
No.
Oh, it doesn't affect it at all, Jim.
So that's a miss. You fire the flare off. Goes straight through the gap in the cage, straight past the creature's wing, and it just makes it angry. So it's now like almost like a pigeon pecking at the bars, trying to pull them apart. It's probably not going to be able to, but let me just make a strength might test. It needs a 17 to start to break the bars.
Right.
16, so it's come
Ooh.
close. As it's trying to bite the bar, you can actually see the bars buckling. I say bars, they're fairly thin. They're thinner than a finger, and it's
Right.
like a lattice work. It's just to stop people falling off the ladder on the way to the helicopter. So the thing's starting to buckle. So everybody else that's trapped inside this this cage with it, what would you like to do?
Not be trapped.
Yes.
Well, we were going
Well,
to make a
yeah.
stabby thing, weren't we?
That's
Like an
right.
invasion.
Yes, you'll have done it by now. So who's going to wield the...
What does it take to use?
It would be a fighting attack. It'll be at minus
So
1 to hit
one-
because it's badly weighted. Because you
So
have
fighting
just
one.
strapped a scalpel to a hammer.
When you put it like that, it sounds silly.
It does, doesn't it? Sorry, what was that, Chris?
Does anyone have a fighting higher than 1?
Doesn't look like
I
it.
do, but I'm not there.
No, mine's
I
one.
won't. I'm a doctor, not a fighter.
Okay, looks like it's down to you then. Do you want to try and give it a stab through the...
Yes, I'll do it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, go for it.
Can we distract it to aid him?
Yes, I'm going to allow you to distract it. So, although you're not actually attacking as such, I'm going to say you're doing distracting things that are similar enough to attacks that I will count him as outnumbered. So, Chris, that gives you a plus
Oh,
2
fucking
to hit.
hell.
Oh, shit. Okay,
Because
that's
plus doesn't matter.
I
yeah.
don't think I'm the right person for this.
So you thrust through the bars and the thing just massive beat of its wings thrusts backwards and flies away from it. As it does, it's I'm going to give it a roll to see if it notices this cage is open at both ends.
Oh, shit.
It only needs an 11 to notice. It hasn't noticed.
Ooh.
So it sweeps backwards and then dives back in for another go at trying to smash its way through the cage. So still needing a 17.
You know, I don't want to be that person, but arguably, would that be an intelligence test?
Yes.
Not a perception,
I'll make it
isn't
an intelligence test in future then. I'm not sure that's any better actually. I think it's probably less
Just
intelligent and
because, you know,
perceptive. It is much
just
less.
because how intelligent some creatures are, they don't think like that.
Yes. Okay, in future I'll use intelligence instead of perception, which is massively advantaged you because its intelligence is -1 where its perception is +3.
I've got something to suggest anyway, because we really need to check if the helicopter's been fueled or not, and if it hasn't, fuel it. So maybe whilst this bat is distracted by everybody in the cage, someone with a decent dexterity and who knows how to refuel can try and sneak out and start doing that.
Okay. Do we have a volunteer?
Well, I was going to suggest myself. My dex is 2, but you know what I'm like.
You
They're
are the
valuable.
pilot, though.
Yeah.
So what do the party
Too
think?
valuable.
You've got a co-pilot, only one of you has to live.
That's true. Go on, Jenny.
We've got
Rather than, I would rather the main characters have it.
Well, here you go, right? So, scouting talent.
Ah, yes.
Experts. You're skilled in the art of recon.
Yeah.
Right.
You can use the lay of the land to your advantage. If you fail a dexterity stealth test, you can re-roll it, but you must keep the result of the second roll.
You do sound like a good choice for this, though.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
Like, go on then.
Okay, give me a dexterity perception. Dexterity stealth check to see if you can get out and
I
head
don't
over
have
towards.
stealth as a skill, but
Can we do stuff to try and keep it distracted?
Yes, I
looking
will
through?
allow that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you
And
are...
I'll go up to the end of the tunnel then.
Yeah.
And I will use my perception seeing to have a look around.
Okay, give it a roll. Tell me what you get.
What's the roll? An 11.
11, right. You can see most of the combats are not actually paying attention. Most of them are attacking the speakers. There's a few exceptions, but the majority are. You notice as well that on a lot of the upright, the tall things, you can see the men of war are now climbing up them and quite often creeping up on the combats, who are concentrating so much on the shrieking that these men of war are kind of climbing up the frames and then suddenly lashing out with their tentacles to grab combats and slamming them against the poles and then either dropping them or ganging up on them and tearing them apart. So most of the combats are a bit too busy either attacking speakers or being killed by men of war to notice, and most of the men of war are too busy hunting combats to notice it.
Okay.
But that's a most, it's not an all.
Right.
Well,
But
it's better
hang
time than ever.
Yeah.
You know.
would that count as a failure in any case?
Would
The 11.
the 11?
Well, that was
Yes, you can re-roll that if you want to.
But that wasn't for your stealth though.
No, that's perception.
Yeah.
No, I've got the other skill of observation talent.
Yeah.
You notice things others do not. So if you fail a perception seeing test with your chosen focus,
Right.
you can roll it.
Right.
You must keep the roll of the second roll.
Okay, there is currently 2 other combats that are occasionally kind of looking over to see what the one they're all fighting's doing. They're distracted from the speakers, so there's a possibility that they might come and join the attack on the cage. But one of those combats is actually perched on a what looks like one of the antenna. You don't think that combat's going to be a problem for much longer because it hasn't noticed the 3 men of war climbing up the antenna behind it.
I feel like the men of war are good guys here.
Right at this moment, they're doing you a lot of good, but bear in mind they will dissolve and drink you at the first given opportunity.
Yes. It's true.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So here we go for the sneaking.
Right, go for it.
Okay.
Right. Which
Oh.
well, no. Let's just re-roll that.
Yeah, I think you need to re-roll that.
That's pathetic.
That's still not
And
great.
2 more.
But remember, you should have at least a bonus because we're distracting this bat.
Yes, I'm going to give, because there are 3 of you distracted it, I'm going to say instead of 11, he got 14.
Okay.
This combat is still at -2 on this roll. Oh, shit. Okay, so 2 off that still gives it 15, so he has been spotted.
Can I use? Could I use a conviction point
Yes, you can.
so that he doesn't get spotted?
Right, you burn a conviction point, so as the combat kind of turns to look at him, you stick your fingers through the bar and poke it in the eye. As you do, it doesn't do it enough damage for it to take damage, but it kind of looks round and hisses and completely ignores Jeremy, too outraged that you've attempted to poke it in the eye.
Conviction point was to poke something in the eye.
Yes.
I was going to use a long, what do you call it, red and white paper straw. Not many people will get that reference.
Nope. No idea.
I've forgotten what I'm opening this for now.
Just thinking you're going to try and drink its eyeball juice or something. I don't know.
Watch out, there's a Germany about.
Okay, 15, so this thing's still trying to batter its way through this thing and hasn't noticed. Sean, you have not been spotted by this thing. It's too distracted. You can make your way up to the helicopter if you would like to. Let me just measure the distance to see if you can do it in one go. Remembering you're moving at half speed at the moment. So it's this I want to be on. So that's 24 meters to the helicopter.
Should be able to make that. Huh?
I don't know what your
No,
speed
it
is.
doesn't work like that, does it?
Depends what your speed is.
12.
12, so 6 and 3. 15 you'd
the
be able
fuel
to
here,
make
is it?
in one go. Sorry?
Is this the fuel here?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Needs to check if it's already fueled though.
Yeah. Okay, so you can move up to 15 meters, or the closest square that would put you into anyway, if you want to. So yeah, that 16 would do, if you like. So, whilst you're doing that, what are the people trapped in the cage doing?
Gonna try and poke it again.
Okay, whoever's got the stabby stick can make an attack.
It's even better than what I got before.
Oh man, it's happened again.
What's happened again?
Get to the toilet quicker next time.
Okay, so Chris is attempting to make a dice roll. This could take some time, so let's see if I can remember the second line from War and Peace.
There we are.
Right. That's a hit. So you've managed to stab through this this mesh, and you've actually managed to hit it. So, these things are not terribly deep wounds, but they are incredibly sharp, so I'm going to say it's D6 plus perception. I'm going to treat it as a missile attack.
I mean, if you can get one of its arteries or something.
Yes,
I
exactly.
wish it was strength.
I'll go on then.
What?
I'll let you have strength. Go on, I will. It is a melee attack, so I suppose it should be strength. Go on, D6 plus strength.
Sorry,
Good
it's a
thing.
1d6 plus strength.
Strength, yeah. 6, nice one. So you punch through its defensive coating, as it were. And I can't seem to click on it, and I know why. Hold on. So that is 3 gets through there. And save changes. There we go. So a little blood splash from that. It's barely a tickle, really. The combat's annoyed by this, so it's going to try and smash its way through this thing, and it gets that intelligence check as well. But I'm going to try the smashing through. First, it needs a 17 to break the cage. It has failed, but its intelligence check, it needs a 11 to realise the cage is open. And it's done it.
Oh, shit.
Okay, so it's suddenly realised that the cage is open. So it's going to come round this way. And
Right.
so it swings off to the side and lands.
Run,
It starts sneaking up this way towards you.
run.
You're going to run? Is everybody else doing the same thing?
If you all get out the end, it's then caught in
Trapped
the
in
door
the cage.
Yeah.
where you can
Yeah.
then hit it
Okay, you guys
or
all...
gank it when it comes out.
Yeah, you guys all run up that way. Once you get to the platform, do you want to keep running, or do you want to take Sean's suggestion of...
I think we need to stay here and try
Yeah, I
and
think we
take
need
it out.
to. Yeah.
No.
try and gank it when it
What
comes
you
in?
should do is you should get the casualty to the helicopter.
Good point.
Oh yeah, we've got a casualty.
You do have the
And-
casualty.
And the pilots
So,
and the doctors.
yeah, does that
I'd say
leave
forward
anybody?
point with the pointer stick.
I guess we could get in, but I don't want
I mean,
it
you-
coming
you
and
are
attacking
forgetting-
the helicopter.
You are forgetting that you've got, like, what, 15 oil workers following you?
Yes.
Those 15 oil workers probably are armed, and there's one combat.
Does the bat
Are we
actually
gonna
think
be
it's going
naming-
to win against 15 people?
The bat did, yeah, just saw things in a cage and decided to see if it could pull anybody's head off through the cage.
We kind of need to take it out. So I think some of us could go onto the helicopter and some of us stay to try and take it out.
Right.
Because if it comes after us, it starts attacking the helicopter. That's not going to be great.
That's what I'm saying. You get the casualty and the
Yeah.
doctors into the helicopter.
Okay. That sounds like a good idea to me. So let me just find the other characters. And we've got Greg's over there. Jeremy is there. We've got Dr. Gill. We've got Dr. Lockhart. We've got the casualty, who I think doesn't have a character sheet because he's a casualty. So I think I'm going to have to find the hospital and just cut and paste him across. Oil rig medical bay. Let's have a look. Casualty. Copy. Right, and that one. Just drop the casualty in. So, you've got the oil rig workers who are going to try and ambush that thing as it comes out the cage. You've got the 2 doctors making a dash for it with the casualty. What would Anthony Burr and Erin like to do?
I have to take forward point with the pointy stick right here.
Right, you're going to fight it off with a pointy stick. Okie dokie. Sorry,
Yeah.
kitten, I'm not feeding
And
you
if I
just
ever
yet.
get a roll, I can use my, if I ever get the roll, protect skill.
Yes.
Hopefully.
I think it would be really funny if you went into combat with like all of those oil workers.
Just 2
Just make it
seconds. I
really
just need to
difficult for the
take
games master.
one of my t-shirts off, so I need to take my headset off to do it.
Okay.
Oh, is it naming 15 characters?
Yeah, exactly. Naming, and he has to remember the order they go in, everything like that.
You just
You would
don't
do
have
that.
to like stand around the entrance there, and when it comes out, just whack it with your
Right then.
pipes and sticks.
So the sorry, Jenny, what did you decide Erin was doing?
Right, well, I gave my hammer away to be used for the pointy stick weapon.
Yes, you did.
I'll give you my pipe.
It's just a
What?
out smoke.
Okay, I'll stay to fight the bat then, because we know Jeremy can pilot the plane if need be. I am being brave.
Okay, you're going to do a brave, eh? So the what I'm going to do then is I'm going to say the player characters, the bat, and then the NPCs. So, can I have attack rolls from Erin and then Anthony, please?
Right, what am I rolling? Should I just count it as a hammer or a baseball bat or something?
Yeah, just count it as that for ease. Yeah.
Just go for fighting.
I'll say baseball bat.
Plunk.
Okay, so it's you swing at it and miss.
Fuck.
Will it not be outnumbered by?
Oh yeah.
Well, not yet, because she's the first one to wang. Also, it's still currently in the doorway, so actually only 2 of you can hit it at once. So it's going to be
Right.
you and then Chris, if you'd like to take a swing at it as well, please.
So Chris could get that bonus, and he could aim, couldn't he?
Yes, Chris can have +1.
Oh,
Oh no.
That's a miss. So I'm going to say the bat is going to attempt to attack. Okay, on a 1 to 3, it'll attack Jenny for. Oh no, Chris, you said you wanted to use your
I'm going to be front in case of things.
your
I'll take
drive
the hit.
to it. Yeah, so you'll take it. Could you add a 1 point of what's the name, please? Thingy points, man.
Station.
Conviction?
Conviction, that's the one, yes. 1 conviction point, because you've been attempting to defend everybody all the way through, and that is your character's main drive. So you get a conviction point, and the bat gets to try and kill you. The bat is going to attempt to bite you in the throat, and with a 19, it is definitely succeeded,
Ooh.
and it also
Shit.
has 2 stunt points. So with those stunt points, it is going to skirmish you. So it's going to grab you by the throat, shake you like a rag doll, and then fling you back 2 feet into the other oil workers, so you collapse on top of them. But you also take...
Can I not use a conviction to use a talent, quick reflexes?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
To prepare myself for that happening.
So you lose the conviction point I've just given you, and you're going to use your quick reflexes talent. Just read that out for the listeners at home. And the Games Master can't remember what it does.
You can prepare yourself for an action in an instant. Once per round, you can use ready or free action on your turn.
Okay, so that's more to ready yourself, really, but I'm going to allow you to use it.
That's why I'm asking if I can use the conviction to use it now.
Yes, but that would just be to ready an action. Just to use a ready action. A ready action is just like, I take a weapon I hadn't got ready to make it ready.
You could just use your conviction to just not get hit.
Basically, he's just wanting to not get skirmished by the bat.
I'll
I
allow
don't mind
it.
getting hit. It's about being ready for my next turn.
Right, no, that's not what ready means. That's what I'm telling you. Right.
All right.
Right, ready means to take a weapon you didn't have ready and make it ready. Right?
Oh, okay.
What you're describing is not a ready action. What you're describing is just using a conviction point to counterbalance the skirmish, and I am going to allow that. But that's got nothing to do with a ready action, which is something very different, which I've explained. So in future you'll know what that does. I haven't said that. You'll be back to you with the character in a couple of weeks. So I'm going to say you didn't get skirmished, but you will still take the damage.
Okay.
So it's lost its stunt points against you, but it's done 6 points of damage.
Okay, I take 2 then, I think.
Yep. Sorry, Ben,
Can
are
you
you
not
trying
use
to
the
talk?
conviction point to just not get hit?
Yeah, I take 2.
Actually, yes, Chris. Just don't take the damage. I think
I
Ben.
mean, like,
Okay.
a minute ago, yeah.
Sorry.
You okay, Ben?
Brian saying anything.
I think he's being blended.
I haven't spoke for like 30 seconds.
I literally only just heard you. So
Yeah,
He's about 15 seconds behind.
yeah,
Wow, that is a long delay.
it is a long delay. So what's happened then? You didn't take the damage. You spent the conviction point, and I'm going to say that causes you to just step sideways, and the bat misses you entirely. So it's the oil workers who can't really do anything because the two
This is
NPCs.
representing me. Okay.
Yeah, that's all party members and oil workers who aren't represented separately. So Jeremy, over to you, and you can reach the helicopter at this point.
Right, getting into the right. Can I climb into the helicopter?
Yes.
Switch the I don't know what you call it. The auxiliary on to see what the fuel gauge reads.
Yes. You flick the auxiliary power on, which actually takes more than one flick, and then you need to turn the fuel gauge on, and it doesn't look as if they've fueled the helicopter, no. It looks as if, because you'd have to do that whilst exposed a little bit more to the elements than they fancied being, they all just buggered off to find somewhere safe in the storm. So the helicopter's currently unfueled.
Okay, in that case, then I'll switch it back to being neutral.
Yeah.
I'll make sure that the door is then ready for them to unlock, open to put the passenger in.
Yes. Okay. So you slide the back door open, ready for them to just get the passenger inside, and you turn all the power back off so that when you're fueling the helicopter, it's not going to risk detonating anything. Not that that's very likely to happen anyway. It's a vanishingly small risk, but it is a risk. And I take it the doctors are heading to the helicopter to get the casualty inside? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Okay. So you guys are over by the helicopter. Their casualty is now loaded inside. What would you guys like to do?
Ensure he's strapped in securely.
Right, so that puts you guys inside as well. That's all I really needed to know, I think.
And then strap ourselves in, make sure we've got medical equipment and things are all secured down.
So you clamber...
I thought you were going to man the door guns.
Unfortunately, rescue helicopters not often armed. Okay, so you get into the helicopter, strap in the
We
casualty.
went in there an oil rig, no Kabul.
Okay, so we are back over to the people who are trying to hold off the combat in the cage. Also, it's not going to be long now before Ben's reinforcements arrive.
Yay!
Yes. So, go ahead, Jenny and Chris.
Can I just ask something as well? Isn't the helicopter tethered?
Yes, it is.
Because that'll need sorting out as well,
It
won't it?
will, yes.
That's what I was saying. If you tell some of them, the oil workers to make a manned line to fuel and
Yeah.
unloose the
Okay.
helicopter.
The
Yeah.
oil workers who can't really get involved in a fight anyway, because two people are kind of blocking that thing, they stream off across the thing. Some of them head over to the fuel lines to like pull the fuel line out to start to drag it over to where it'll lock into the helicopter. Others start untethering the helicopter. So the helipad is now covered in oil workers trying to prep the helicopter for launch, and you guys are holding this combat in the where it's at.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and hit it.
How many ways into this cage is there?
2, one at the top, one at the bottom.
I think that's a miss, isn't it?
I'm afraid that is a miss. Yeah, you go to hit it and it just pulls back. Chris, you to go.
12. Just hit.
Yeah.
Is it
that
possible to
even?
jump on it?
Sorry, Chris. Say that again.
Possible to jump on it?
You can try a
Is it like-
grapple
is it-
attack. Yeah.
Wait, Brian.
Yes. Go ahead.
But Brian.
Yes?
She could aim, and she gets the +1 because Chris is attacking it though. I'll make it a 13.
I distinctly remember hearing you say you'd aimed, didn't you, Jenny?
Yes, I would have aimed first.
Yes. In that case, as Ben points out, if you combine an aim and an outnumbered, you've definitely hit it. Go ahead and roll the damage.
You've got 2 stun points then in that case.
And you've got 2 stun points, as
Yeah.
Sean's pointed out. Yes.
Oh yes, very nice. Oh well, I freaking
Would
need
that
it
get,
with that.
Can you do an extra d6 worth of damage with that?
Yes, I believe that's one of them, isn't it?
It is. I mean, currently you're going to do no damage to it because the thing's got 1 point of hide and 2 points of toughness.
Yeah, I'll go for D6.
Okay.
Extra.
You're going to do D6 extra damage.
6.
3 points. So you managed to get 3 points past its defenses. So you're stabbing it, I think, aren't you? So you slash at its wings.
Pipe. She said,
You've got the pipe.
Yeah.
You smack it with the pipe instead. Then. Okay, Chris, you to go.
Did somebody make
Okay.
the sound effect of it being smacked?
I think so. It wasn't me.
That was me.
It wasn't me.
That hurt my back. That wasn't really as bad.
Okay, so it's climbing up this thing, or is it just on top?
It's inside.
It's inside.
Yeah, it's inside like the
So
cage thing.
I'm thinking of
Top of the
jumping on
wall,
top of it and stabbing it.
Well, I mean, you can try
Yeah,
a
I'm
grapple,
gonna
but
try
it
a
is
grapple
inside the cage.
Is
Yeah.
it grappling major action or?
Yes, it's a major
Is
action.
it not a stunt attack?
It's a particular type of attack, but it's not a stunt attack.
Okay, how would you do this?
You make a brawling attack roll, but if you succeed, you do 1d3 damage to it. And
Is might a possibility, or is it just normal brawling?
no, might's not a possibility. It'd just be brawling.
Okay. And now we wait for my roll to come through.
Yeah.
Part 3.
Any second now.
So you've managed to roll 3 on 3d6. Okay.
No, I've not rolled it yet.
All
I'm
right,
saying
okay.
part 3.
Oh,
You've
part
got-
3. Yes, of course.
Didn't think the Wi-Fi. You know.
Yay, there we go.
I think it's the
Considering how good Pact's Wi-Fi is from my studio upstairs and how poor it is downstairs, that's a hell of a
It just
difference.
gets worse the lower you go.
Yeah,
Notice it's Brian's studio.
it is my studio.
I'm in the middle room. It's like I'm on the opposite side of a very thick wall of where the Wi-Fi router is. So
Oh, the middle
You're
room
above
is
it.
not great for Wi-Fi either,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Okay.
anyway, verse 16.
Okay, that's a hit. So you managed to grab it. So you do D3 plus your strength and damage,
And it's grappled.
and you are currently grappling it. Yeah, which means every
D3
round
plus-
D3 plus your strength. Yes.
Oh, then not have my weapon ready. Then.
I mean, you can either use your weapon or you can grapple it. You can't do both.
Mm.
Oh, okay, I get you. Okay, let me just do D3. That's my strength. It's not too bad, to be fair, than some people's weapons. D3. I don't know how to do the thing on this one second. Is it just? And I always use the clicky thing, so it's R.
So it's slash
R. 1d3
Yeah.
1d3
plus whatever your
Plus-
strength is.
plus 3. What's your strength? Is your strength 3?
Yeah, it is.
I
Good
guess
man.
there's a space after R.
Yes.
That's 5 damage. So you managed to get 2 through. So you've got it in a grapple attack, which means each round, you and the beastie will wrestle to try and get out. And each round it doesn't get out, you do another D3 plus strength damage to it. So
Oh, that's alright.
it's its go, so it's now going to try and break your grapple hold. So I need a strength might test from both of you. Oh, it doesn't have might. Okay. So you need to beat 17 to keep the grapple going. 18! 18, well done. And you've got 5 stunt points, so you can pick 5 stunt points
Does
from
that
the...
count in an opposed test?
No, because it wasn't your goal. So no, it doesn't.
Oh, well, at least you passed it though.
Yes, at least you passed it, so you're still holding it. It's thrashing
You got
about trying to
grapples.
get out, and you've got it grappled in place.
Where's grapple stunt?
They'll be in there somewhere, but as Sean's just pointed out, you don't get to use them when it wasn't your actual turn. You were reacting to
Oh,
its turn.
just regular stunts.
No.
No, there's,
Is it
there's
melee
no
stunts?
stunts.
You don't get to use them because it's not your go. You can only use stunts on your turn.
Yes.
Oh, so I keep it until then, or not at all?
No.
you just they're just lost. Like just forget about the
Okay.
stun points.
Sorry, so many people are talking at once. I'm sorry, Ben.
Don't apologise. Don't just forget about the stunts.
I won't listen to Bryan because you're useless.
Oh, God, I wouldn't listen to me. I don't know what I'm doing. Actually, Ben was right. Ben was correct. And if you'd listened to me, you'd have got the stunts, because I forgot it wasn't you. Yes, make a note. This is the day in history when I first said Ben was right. It's probably also the last. I must say I must say for the people listening, I do rib on Ben a little bit, but honestly, if I was ever to have a son, I would want him to be as much unlike Ben as was humanly possible.
Just when you think.
Sorry,
it's
Ben.
somewhere
I've been wanting to crack that joke for a while. I don't mean it. Right. Okay.
You're proud of yourself now. Do
So,
you feel good now,
I'm
Brian?
successfully keeping it grappled.
You are successfully keeping it grappled. Yes. So, as you grapple the combat, and Erin is trying to stab it, the oil workers are desperately trying to get the helicopter fueled up and uncoupled. And reinforcements have just arrived at the bottom of these steps in the form of
Right,
Greg
I want
and
to say,
Mhm.
what I'm wanting to do, because I don't want to get my team killed, is we'll go to the nearest building and we'll start banging on the walls or something there. Because obviously I
Right.
don't want us to yell
Ah,
at the bottom
right.
of the stairs,
Yes.
get killed by combat, and then they go back to you.
That's a good point. So we're going to say it's these buildings over here you'll be at. So I'm just going to remove these yellow squares that are.
Right, get everyone indoors, and then start yelling out of the door, and then once we've got their attention, we'll obviously lock the door, and then
That
bang
is
on the doors and
quite a
stuff.
good idea. So I'm going to copy that over to there. So now, as well as the sirens broadcasting the high-pitched shriek to distract combats, you've also got people over here banging on the walls in the hopes that any combats that are not distracted will come after the building instead of the people trying to fuel up the helicopter to get away.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, we have this combat which has been wrestled into submission by your winchman. You've got the oil workers are fueling everything up for you. Jeremy can stay in the cockpit if he wants to. Now the oil workers are handling everything. The casualties strapped into place. The doctors have strapped themselves down. And as that all happens, you see the second combat that was only partially distracted eventually thinks, what's going on over there? Calls to all the other combats that can hear
for
it.
fuck's sake.
So I'm going to make a communications test for it, and whatever the number on the stunt dice is the number of other combats that join it. Assuming it passes, it needs an 11 or better to be heard over.
Don't suppose
over
I
everything
could
else.
do that mic test to...
Yes, you
attention?
can. You can.
Where is that
Oh, don't worry about it. It hasn't heard. Nothing else has heard. Except
I have a bit of an idea.
this one combat has heard. And go ahead, actually, Ben, make that might test. See if you can attract it to you instead of to the platform where everything's going on.
13?
13. Okay, so it's got to choose between curious noises in a tin can or obvious lunch but in large scary numbers on a platform. So I'm going
to go for the tin can.
I'm not sure which it's going. It might even not come in at all. No, I think it's going to go for the tin can. So the second combat is going to streak down towards the tin can to try and batter its way in there. So there we go. Second combat, and it's going to head for you. So as that one streaks down towards the building you're in, the oil workers desperately try to fuel it up before anything else horrible happens. Thank you very much for coming today. Hope you've enjoyed the game. And we'll pick it up from there next week.
You are so mean.
You left me literally hanging.
I have indeed, yes. Okay, well,
I was going to say...
Sorry, go ahead.
It's just for next time, it's fine.
Okay, so thank you very much for listening to the stream. Hope you've enjoyed it. You have been watching Pandora's Age, which is using Green Ronin Publishing's modern age rule system with the Gethsemane games setting, Pandora's Wake, the post-apocalyptic setting. I've been your Games Master. I'm Bryan F. Irving. The music you have heard today has been by Kevin MacLeod at incompetech.com. Also by Tabletop Audio and by the DH9 Radio Production Unit. All sound effects, it says here, by the DH9 Radio Fuller Unit, but actually all the sound effects we used today were me with a plastic bag. The setting, as I mentioned, is my Pandora's Wake setting, System Modern Age by Green Ronin. Go check them out on the Green Ronin website. Thank you very much. Do stay safe and take care. We will see you next week for the next installment and to see if these people finally manage to escape this oil rig. But from me, good night and stay safe.
Bye.
Nice.
Sorry.
No.